It's been a long week for Hurricane coach Butch Davis. His team suffered 2 losses in the space of 6 days. A week ago Thursday at Pittsburgh, a last-minute camper short-circuited a potential game-winning drive by the Hurricanes as they lose their second in a row. They hope to get it back on the rails as they had an opening week at Baylor, but not the first time Miami's faced a 2-game losing streak. Last year at West Virginia, a block punt in the final minute and a Hurricane touchdown turned their season around. It's the Canes in West Virginia today on Sports Channel. From the Orange Bowl in Miami, Florida, Sports Channel presents Miami Hurricanes football. Tonight, the Hurricanes will try to get back on the winning track, get a much-needed win against the Mountaineers of West Virginia. Hi, everybody. I'm Frank Fort. I'll tell you what's happening on the field. My partner, John Congemi, will tell you why. John, both teams come into this game 0-1 in the Big East Conference. They are both desperate for a victory. From the Hurricanes standpoint, they got to focus in on West Virginia's 2 main offensive weapons. Most of the passing game goes through Sean Foreman, number 16.
Sean Foreman on the outside does a great job for West Virginia, creating space and separation for Mark Bulger to get the ball into him. 7 catches. He's averaging 7 catches in each of the ball games. 15.4 yards per catch. He does a great job on the outside, but Amos Zaraway in the backfield, he's averaging close to 150 yards on the ground. He makes it happen in the backfield. If the Hurricanes have success today, they'll have to shut down number 20, famous Amos Zaraway.
And both Foreman and Zaraway account for approximately 2/3 of all of West Virginia's yardage from the line of scrimmage. So those are 2 keys. For the Hurricanes, John, for the first time in just about anybody's memory, they're going to be starting 2 true freshmen at wide receiver.
Yeah, they start with number 87, Reggie Wayne. Got some valuable experience last weekend against Pittsburgh, but he's the guy that has the most experience of the 2. He's going to have to go out and create separation on the outside and make life a little bit easier for Ryan Clement. He has the talent to do that. You see his numbers right there. He does a good job of running routes, and he's going to need to do that against a tough and nasty secondary from West Virginia today. On the other side of the ball, you have Darrell Jones, number 1. He'll come out, and his first start as a collegiate athlete has to be excited in the Orange Bowl. He'll get a lot of balls thrown his way, too. Ryan is not hesitant to go to either one of these freshman wide receivers. They need to play like juniors and seniors today instead of true freshmen.
And we also may see Santana Moss, who is another true freshman, as the 3rd wide receiver. Now, when you look at the quarterback matchup, it would seem to favor Miami. Ryan Clement, the senior, against Mark Bulger, the sophomore. But Miami's faced 2 guys the past 2 weeks very similar to Bulger in Ryan Keeley and Pete Gonzalez. I think they need to get after him.
And those 2 quarterbacks have hurt the Miami defense severely. You look at Bulger, really doesn't do anything spectacular, but he needs to just run the offense. If he tries to play over his head, he'll get in trouble against his defense. And Ryan Clement is desperately saying, hey, can I have an easy game out here today for the Hurricanes? If he plays well and that offensive line provides protection, he should have a big day.
It's the Canes and West Virginia, both desperately seeking a victory. We'll have the opening kickoff from the Orange Bowl right after this on Sports Channel. University of Miami football is being brought to you in part by Heineken, true to the original recipe since 1886. By Bell South, nobody knows a neighbor like a neighbor. By Office Depot, taking care of business for companies of every size, everywhere, every day. And by your local Nissan retailers who remind you that life is a journey. Enjoy the ride. In Miami, Florida, it's Big East football. The Miami Hurricanes against the West Virginia Mountaineers. Miami comes in 1-2 with a 2-game losing streak. West Virginia with 2-1 record. They lost to Boston College in their last outing. A hot day at the Orange Bowl. Of course, no shock there. The wind's out of the southeast, 17 miles per hour. We have the natural surface here. Our forecast is for cloudy weather with a 20% chance of rain later in the day. Miami leads this series 10-2. In the last meeting last year, it was the miracle in Morgantown. The block punt by Tremaine Mack, resulting in a touchdown by Nate Brooks, and the Hurricanes pulled out a 10-7 win, a game in which quarterback Ryan Clement played with a separated shoulder and played gallantly. And the Canes hung in there, won a game, prevented a 3-game losing streak, John, which is what they're facing today if they can't beat the Mountaineers.
So they're going to have to come up with another huge victory today against West Virginia. They're in the exact same position. They really need to turn this season around early. We talked at the beginning of the year, Frank, we thought the month of September was very crucial in the growing pains of the University of Miami. If they could get out of the month of September with a couple victories against Arizona State and against Pittsburgh, which you thought they would have beat easily. That didn't happen. Now they're in must-win situations. They're one loss in the Big East Conference. They need to beat West Virginia today and then continue that string of victories.
A lot of questions swirling about this team right now, a young team, and with the scholarship sanctions, they're facing an uphill battle. West Virginia won the toss and deferred till the second half, so Miami will receive. Trent Jones and Jeff Popovich to receive Jay Taylor's kickoff. And we are underway at the Orange Bowl. Trent Jones at the 5. Jones across the 30 and up to the 32-yard line. Ryan Williams, the backup linebacker, making the tackle on special teams. Here's your quarterback, Ryan Clement, coming off a subpar performance at Pittsburgh, John.
Yeah, but it's not all on the shoulders of number 16. He did a good job of trying to make plays, but he can't make it happen all by himself. He needs that offensive line to really pick up their play and needs those young wide receivers, those freshman receivers outside to come up and play a little bit bigger than their age today.
Miami starting 2 true freshmen at wide receiver in Reggie Wayne and Darrell Jones. 1st and 10 from the 33. Edgerrin James with the football. James across the 35 to the 36-yard line, picks up 3 yards. James will get the bulk of the duty today. Edgerrin James, collarbone injury acting up. He will not play. So it's James instead of McMillan. Carlo Joseph has the only 2 touchdown passes that Ryan Clement has thrown this year. Mike Weiner, the senior, leads an offensive line that is in a state of flux. The left side did not play well last week. They'll be under some scrutiny today. The pickup was 3 on first down by Edgerrin James. John Hadley got credit, the middle linebacker, for the tackle. 2nd and 7 Hurricanes. Clement on a rollout. Fires complete to Bubba Franks, and he's pulled out of bounds at the West Virginia 40. Barrett Green making the tackle. John, a little rollout to get him away from the pressure.
Yeah, nice job offensively. Nice scheme coming out, getting Ryan away from that pressure from outside the line.
Look at the West Virginia defense. Henry Slay, their top returning player. On the linebackers, John Hadley, a Floridian, went to junior college and then wound up at West Virginia. And the backs, Nate Terry is out of Homestead High School, has 2 interceptions to lead that West Virginia secondary. The gain was 22 on the completion to Bubba Franks. 1st and 10 at the West Virginia, just outside the 42. Edgerrin James stood up by Hadley, drags the pile a couple of yards, pickup of 2 on first down.
It's going to be a big test for this offensive line today, Frank. You see Edgerrin James coming back to the huddle, but it's going to be a big test up front against this big defensive line of West Virginia. Can they push people? Can they push those big bodies out of the way? You see Hadley up there, number 52 for West Virginia, James going forward, but that's going to be a critical test, not only running the football, but having enough time for Ryan Clement to set up and throw the football.
And you already see number 64, Ty Wise, in at left guard, and not Robert Sampson. 2nd and 8 for the Canes. Opening possession of the game. Clement under some pressure. Now runs out of the pocket. Clement bounces off John Hadley back to the 35-yard line. They'll give him forward progress to almost the 32, but quite a collision.
Yeah, that's why Ryan doesn't have a 2 in front of that 6. He has a 1. He's not supposed to be running north and south. He's supposed to stay in that pocket and try to deliver the football. You see him going back, trying to make something happen. Ryan maybe should have stayed in the pocket. He had Bubba Franks coming across the middle, but he made a positive play, made a decision, and then he gets bounced backwards towards the huddle. That's something that happens as a quarterback. Ryan's good size, too, at 6'1", 212 pounds, but sometimes you have bigger people on defense throwing you back.
Gary Stills, number 55, the West Virginia rush end, is down on a knee at the Mountaineer 35-yard line, shaken up after that play. Ryan Clement, by the way, did pick up first down yardage as he gained 9 yards on that scramble. 13-17, left to go first quarter, just underway. This is the opening possession of the game. And John, I think we're seeing the Miami coaches making a bit of a statement. Robert Sampson was scheduled to start. It looks like Ty Wise started at left guard. Bubba Franks in the ball game very early at tight end, although I'm sure he's alternating with Chris Jones. But Bubba Franks is too good an athlete not to have him on the field.
Well, the coaches said it was a very competitive practice week this week, and only the guys that really work and that didn't perform last week against Pittsburgh. They said it was blatant on the film. You could see people really not giving effort, and they don't want those people out on the field today. They're not giving them a second chance during a ball game. And you see the injured Gary Stills, the linebacker for West Virginia, going off the field. But that's the attitude that Miami has going into this football game. They're going to be aggressive, and they're going to go with freshmen. If you're playing and giving 100%, you're going to be out on the football field.
Butch Davis made no bones about it at his weekly press conference. He says, we're going to play people who are going to give effort and who are going to perform. We don't care who they are, whether they're freshmen or not. You see Stills banging helmets with John Hadley, and that's where the injury occurred. 1st and 10 Hurricanes at the West Virginia 32. Carlo Joseph and Edgerrin James set behind Clement. Counterplay to Edgerrin James. Waits for the block from Joseph and has some room. James to the outside, still on his feet and has close to first down yardage, and flags are down. And also a Miami injury. Looks to be Carlos Callejas. And Carlos was a little banged up this week. He didn't practice early in the week.
Yeah, Carlos was banged up, but nice patience that time by number 5, Edgerrin James, waiting for his fullback, Carlo Joseph, and then he got some nice outside help from Daryl Jones. He didn't catch a pass on that play, but he made a terrific downfield block, just getting in the way of the defender shielding him so he could make another cut to the outside.
I mean, Carlos Callejas being assisted off. Here's the foul call.
Grabbing the face mask.
The personal foul, face mask. So that'll bring it half the distance to the goal line and move it from the 22 to the 11.
First down.
Let's take another look at it.
Yeah, just a counterplay right here. Great patience. Just waits for his fullback, number 40, Carlo Joseph. Gets a nice block. Then right there on the outside, a nice block on Bastien, the cornerback from West Virginia, by number 1, the freshman, Daryl Jones. And now you see the face mask coming here, right here.
Barrett
Just
Green, number 33, was the guilty
face
party. 1st and 10 for the Hurricanes at the West Virginia 11. This is where Miami's got to be able to punch it in, and a bad play on first down. As Ryan Brady, in for the injured Gary Stills, drops Edgerrin James for a 5-yard loss.
Boy, Brady looked like he knew the snap count on that one. Ryan coming right off the ball. Looked like there was some miscommunication up front from Miami. You see him right off the ball. The fullback goes outside, and number 64, Ty Wise, didn't have enough time for the kick-out block on the trap play there. You'll see Ty Wise, 64, coming outside, but bang, number 43, Ryan Brady, in on the stop before he can even set his feet to make the block.
Well, that's been the Hurricanes' problem. They get it down in the red zone, and then they have a negative play, and now it's the 1st and 2nd and 15. Draw play to James, not much there. James stood up in the hole, still trying to get away, and eventually did, although Damon Cogdill had him, and they blew the whistle and blew the play dead as his forward progress was stopped.
Yeah, West Virginia bowing their back a little bit now, getting inside the 20-yard line in that what you would like to call scoring zone, that red zone. Miami has been ineffective when they get down inside of the scoring zone this year, but right now trying to get people on people, orange shirts on orange shirts. Last season you see 84%. I'm mistaken. They were 3 for 4. It seems like they've been
the
down
numbers
there.
are better than the actual performance. They've had turnovers just outside the 20-yard line and negative plays that have taken them out of touchdowns and had to settle for some field goals. 3rd down for Miami. Still 16 to go. Clement under pressure. Swings it out to his fullback, Joseph, and he is drilled immediately by number 43, Ryan Brady, out in the pass coverage. It's only a gain of 2, and that'll bring the field goal unit onto the field.
Nice defensive stand by West Virginia that time. Miami trying to go to a delay route outside. You see number 87, Reggie Wayne, coming underneath, but Ryan never looked to his right. He went right to his fullback, number 40, Carlo Joseph, but the West Virginia defense was there.
Well, Ryan didn't really look to his right because of the pressure from Hadley, and Hadley dumped him. And then an extra body falls on top. So Andy Crossland will be on to attempt a 32-yard field goal out of the hold of Jeff Popovich. Hold is good. Kick away from Crossland, and it is good. Andy Crossland with a 32-yard field goal, and with 10 minutes and 29 seconds remaining in the first quarter, it's Miami 3, West Virginia nothing. We'll be back at the Orange Bowl on Sports Channel after this. First quarter, Miami with the opening drive has converted a field goal from Andy Crossland 32 yards away, and they grab the 3-0 lead over the Mountaineers of West Virginia. Miami's scoring drive, well, it started back at their own 33-yard line and moved inside the West Virginia 15 before it stalled. 9 plays, 52 yards, consuming 4 minutes and 31 seconds. But again, John, Butch Davis would like to see touchdowns, not field goals. They had a 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line, and you look at the thermometer down on the field, it's going to be a hot one on the playing surface today.
Yeah, you'd like to keep that West Virginia defense out on the football field. You see it's close to 100 degrees on the field. You'd like to keep them out there and wear them down. Use the heat use this humidity to your advantage if you're the University of Miami.
George Gaitan will kick off. Nate Terry standing back deep. And Nate Terry, one of the more effective kickoff returners in the country. In fact, he has a 100-yard return for a touchdown. The junior college transfer played his high school ball here in South Florida at Homestead High School, and now a West Virginia Mountaineer. Corey Ivy is also back there, high and short. Miami hoping for a fair catch or a fumble. West Virginia just has to cover it at the 26-yard line. Terry came up and made the catch, but no return, and that's one way to stop a dangerous return man. The crowd went, oh, when the ball kicked off. It doesn't look pretty, but it can be effective.
Very effective. You know, you limit the opportunity for West Virginia to make an explosive play on special teams, and Miami now comes out with their defense, the ball on the 26-yard line. They can come out, get a 3 plays and out, let their offense back on the field and start pounding on that West Virginia defense a little bit more.
Miami scored the field goal on their opening drive. And a look at Mark Bulger, the sophomore quarterback. Amos Zeraway is his main running back, his main offensive weapon, and it's Zeraway who is the lone setback. The fullback, Leroy White, in motion. Bulger over the middle, complete to the tight end, Beck, Anthony Beck, up to the 32-yard line where Gene Ridgely makes the tackle.
Just as Miami was very aggressive on offense, coming out with a couple waggles, did a good job with pressure defense.
And, in fact, it was Chad Wabel, number 87, starting in place of Anthony Beck, who made that catch, and the pickup, Zeraway, of course, with over 400 yards. Brian Pukinis leads a veteran and very large offensive line. The gain was almost 7 on first down. Second down for the Mountaineers, just outside their own 32. Zeraway's first carry finds a bit of a crease. Eugene Ridgely and Dan Morgan combine on the tackle, and it's going to be very close to a first down. Let's check out the Hurricane defense. Along the front, Derek Ham has 10 quarterback pressures, but only 1 sack, and the coaches are looking for a little more productivity there. Dan Morgan will get his first start as a collegian, the true freshman out of Coral Springs, Florida, filling in for the injured Jeffrey Taylor. And Dwayne Starks has the only interception that Miami has recorded in 3 games this season. Zeraway just shy of first down yardage. It'll be third and about the length of a football as they made a measurement, and now they're going to make the measurement, bring the chains out, with 9:42 left to go first quarter. And we'll see if West Virginia has picked up their initial first down of the day. A little bit short. So it'll bring up third and maybe a half yard. You see the distance to go. Amos Zeraway has had big games the first 2 games of the year, John, but Boston College did a good job shutting him down 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, they really did. He's going to get his carries. That's the biggest thing for West Virginia. No matter how that running game's going, he's going to get the opportunity to make an explosive play from that offensive backfield position. So take a look at number 20. If you're looking at this game, he's going to get opportunities, whether it's throwing the football to him, but primarily running the ball. He's going to have to make it happen for West Virginia.
Third and short for the Mountaineers. Zeraway, the lone running back. Leroy White in motion. Bulger keeps it on the sneak. And it looks like he has first down yardage. By the way, injury update. Carlos Callejas, the Miami guard, was taken to the locker room with an injured toe. He is still being evaluated. Let's take a look at the quarterback sneak from Bulger and the push of the offensive front of West Virginia.
Yeah, initially really nothing there, and then second effort, he really goes and slides behind his offensive right guard to get the first down. But West Virginia's big up front, Frank. They've got some 300-pounders and 295-pounders for Mark Bulger to hide behind on that quarterback sneak.
First and 10 Mountaineers at their 37. Bulger, quick 3-step drop, and the pass complete on the outside. Dwayne Starks immediately makes the tackle on Pat Green, the backup wide receiver out of Monessen, Pennsylvania, and holds that to a gain of about 4.
Yeah, really nothing doing on the outside. Dwayne Stark had a great break on the football. 3-step drop on a hitch pass. Dwayne was all over the West Virginia wide receiver. And take a look at Dwayne. I think he'll gamble on Bulger today because he needs to make plays happen on defense. You mentioned he's the only one of the Hurricanes in the secondary or on the defense that has an interception.
West Virginia showing 3 wide receiver sets early in the game here. Second and 6 for the Mountaineers. Again, Bulger with the short drop, throwing it down the sideline and incomplete, going for Green, and Dwayne Starks again had the coverage.
Yeah, they're going at the wrong person in number 23, Dwayne Starks. He's going to get in your face And I don't believe Dwayne, by pressuring there on defense, I don't believe he thinks the West Virginia wideouts can really threaten him and go by him. So he's going to create some pressure on that corner for the Canes defense.
So it's a 3rd and 5 for West Virginia. 8:21 left to go first quarter. Miami leading at 3-0 here at the Orange Bowl, a venue where the Canes uncharacteristically have lost 4 of their last 5. 3rd down for the Mountaineers. Double wide receiver to the bottom of your screen. That's the fullback White in motion, and a mix-up on the snap. Bulger just has to fall on the football to prevent the turnover, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
Yeah, nice break for Miami there. Confusion on the snap, mishandled the quarterback exchange with the center, and a nice opportunity for Miami to come out of there holding West Virginia to only 1 first down, and now that offense gets the football back.
Brian Bauman will come in to punt for West Virginia, and Dwayne Starks will go back to the Miami 15-yard line to receive the kick. Bauman, 19 punts so far this year, a 42.5-yard average. High and short. Starks at his 17. Starks looking for some blockers, just tripped up at the 30-yard line. Number 43, Ryan Brady, perhaps saved a huge gain, a 16-yard return by Dwayne Starks. And he came within a step or two of busting that one big.
Yeah, Ryan Brady, the linebacker for West Virginia, really helps out in holding the Hurricanes, and Dwayne Starks, number 23, to a possible touchdown. He looked like he was going to go right and try to pick up the wall and go straight up the field, just 1 step away from a touchdown.
We'll be back with more first quarter action with 7 minutes, 38 seconds left to go. It's Miami 3, West Virginia nothing. We'll be right back on Sports Channel. As you look at Butch Davis and his tight ends coach Rob Chudzinski, who relays the plays in from upstairs, Hurricanes have it 1st and 10 at their own 34. And John Thornton runs into Mike Weiner. We'll see if he was drawn offside or if he just over-anticipated the snap count. Thornton, the 6'3", 300-pound junior out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And it is offside on the Mountaineers. There's our referee, Jim McConaughey, leading this Big East crew today.
Dead ball. Offside with contact.
And there's your offside call. John, run-pass ratio, 6 runs to 2 passes on Miami's first possession. So I do think they're looking at trying to ball control against this West Virginia defense, which last year was very stingy against the run, but Boston College really ran it down their throats a couple weeks ago. 1st and 5 for the Hurricanes at their 39. Clement with play action. Good protection. Deep down the middle, just overthrew Santana Moss at the West Virginia 25-yard line. Gary Tompkins and Perlo Bastine had the coverage, and in fact, Tompkins thought he had an interception, and the ball sailed over his fingertips.
Yeah, it sailed, and also he looked like he lost his footing back there. Tompkins looked like he was getting under that to make a chance at a leap for an interception. It just fell backwards. Luckily, Ryan Clement threw the ball out in front of Santana Moss. A nice play, though, trying on 1st and 5 after the penalty, trying to take it downfield for a big gain. You haven't seen many balls go over 30 or 40 yards with the Hurricanes this season, trying to get something started right away. You'll see Tompkins go back, goes up for the interception, and then just deflects it.
2nd down and 5 for the Hurricanes. And Miami now wants timeout. Andre King in the game at wide receiver, and a penalty flag is down back on the West Virginia 45-yard line. Came from the back judge or the field judge. This could be an illegal participation penalty.
We have a dead ball.
It is delay of game. They didn't get the timeout in time. So that'll cost Miami, and it'll be 2nd and 10 as they'll move it back to the 34.
5-yard penalty.
John, it's pretty obvious as you look at Miami's wide receiver rotation. Omar Roll and Magic Benton are not in the game, have not been in the game, and in fact, we've seen 4 true freshmen play wide receiver for Miami so far in this first quarter.
Well, Magic Benton might as well be Jamie German because he's not going to get into this football game, it seems like. And Omar Roll has not played in the mix yet, and he was the starter in the first 3 ball games. So you take a look at the philosophy of the offense and the mindset of this coaching staff. They're going to get people into this football game that want to be productive and that give 100% on every play, not taking any plays off.
So the exchange of 5-yard penalties, and it's 2nd and 10 for the Hurricanes. And Eric Schnupp came out of his stance. And that'll cost Miami 5 more.
I believe that is Eric Schnupp, who was filling in.
Well, this is what happens, John, when you know, you're mixing and matching in the offensive line. Guys aren't being productive. Eric has not played a lot. And, you know, it's obvious that he's got inexperience. He's not quite there yet.
Yeah, that's something he's got to correct, though, and he's got to control. He's getting a great opportunity to come into this football game and be productive and make his coaching staff look good for putting him in there. He's got to go out there and give effort, but not make mental mistakes. He can take the physical mistakes, but not the mental ones, because you're in a good situation at 2nd and 10. Now you're at 2nd and 15.
Gary Stills, the West Virginia rush end, has a dislocated thumb and was taken to the hospital. 2nd and 15 from the Canes 29. Clement with some time. Now feels some pressure heading out of the pocket, and Ryan gets down at the 35-yard line. He picked up 6 on the play. John Thornton chased him down.
Ryan does a nice job that time. He got flush from the pocket, still tried to get rid of the football. He had it in a throwing position, wanted to move it downfield to his tight end, Bubba Franks. Thought better of that and tucked it underneath his arm. Excuse me, it was Chris Jones he was looking for down across the field. You see 84 to the top of your screen. Thought better out of his good coverage downfield by West Virginia. Ryan picks up 6 and gets it into a positive play.
3rd and 8 for Miami, a long 8. Omar Roll is in the game in the 3 wide receiver formation for Miami. On 3rd down. Clement to the sideline. Has Reggie Wayne complete at the West Virginia 45-yard line. He is bumped out of bounds there by Nate Terry, but that pickup is good for a 1st down.
Nice play by the Miami freshman. You take a look at him right there, number 87, Reggie Wayne. And a good delivery of the football. Henry Slay laid the leather to Ryan Clement at the end of this play, but he had enough poise and patience to stay in the pocket and deliver a strike outside. Nice inside corner route. Makes him believe he's going on the end. Turns it right back out to the sideline. Nice pitch and catch by Miami.
Pickup of 19 yards as we take another look at Ryan Clement, who took a shot on the play from Henry Slay. 1st down Hurricanes at the West Virginia 45. 6 minutes, 42 seconds remaining 1st quarter. Sprint draw, Trent Jones with his first carry. And Trent Jones getting about 9 yards before Barrett Green stands him up at the West Virginia 36-yard line.
Frank, you mentioned Omar Roll getting into the ball game a play before. He stays into the ball game and makes a great block downfield for Trent Jones to spring to get to the corner and make a productive first down carry.
And that's something that Butch Davis has been harping on, is the downfield blocking by his veteran wide receivers. Magic Benton and Omar Roll, they did not do a very good job. Magic didn't against Arizona State. He was held out of the Pittsburgh game, and Omar certainly could have done better against Pittsburgh. But as you mentioned, that time he did do a good job. 2nd and 1 for the Hurricanes. Their 2nd foray into West Virginia territory. Edgerrin James just trying to pick up the 1st down, and does. Damon Cogdill, the outside linebacker out of Miami, making the tackle. But that is a Miami 1st down and a gain of 4.
Nice to see the offense overcome those penalties and get into a position. Now they're on the West Virginia side of the 50. Edgerrin James, you see 255 yards this season, just over 5 yards an average on a carry. He does a nice job, Frank, carrying the football for Miami.
Let's look at the previous play in the downfield blocking by the wide receiver on the Trent Jones carry. Look at Santana Moss against Perlo Bastine. And doesn't get a whole lot of them, but he stays with it.
All right, we'll give him a B minus on that. At least he shielded them, tried to make the offensive back make a move.
Clement to Santana Moss, and he dropped it. He was trying to run before he caught it because they caught West Virginia in a little bit of a blitz, John, and it was the correct pattern and a good throw, and Santana just dropped it.
Well, those are all the things that happen. You know, that wasn't going on the first 3 weeks. The quarterback sees one thing, and the receiver doesn't run an adjustment. That time, everybody on the same page. Just didn't make the play, didn't make the catch, but at least you see them going to the right person in the right situation. In the play before, West Virginia tried to set it up. They brought pressure, but not any blitz pressure, that time in man-to-man coverage as well.
Well, that's the kind of plays you're going to have to make against these defenses, which are coming after Miami, which has had some offensive line problems. Here they come again. Clement quickly to the outside, overthrows Carlo Joseph. And again, Ryan Clement on the turf as he was hit by Damon Cogdill.
Yeah, Cogdill got in the Miami offensive backfield that time. Ryan looking to his left for a hot read, then tries to just dump it off to his fullback. Had enough time to make a good throw, just a little high on the delivery that time by Ryan Clement.
Well, Ryan has taken a lot of hits in these past 2 1/4 games against Arizona State, against Pittsburgh. And so far today, no sacks for West Virginia, but they've hit him 3 or 4 times.
But you see that what happens when you get hit. Sometimes, you know, that takes a wear and tear on your body, and you can't make that easy throw. Your mind says you can do it, but your body doesn't follow through.
3rd and 10 for the Hurricanes. Again, West Virginia coming. Clement steps up, delivers to Omar Roll, who's clobbered by Gary Tompkins.
Omar rolls down on the Miami 10-yard line. on the West Virginia 10-yard line. He took a shot that time by that West Virginia secondary.
Well, Gary Tompkins and Omar Roll, I'm sure, across paths in high school. Omar out of Norland and Gary out of Miami Pace. In fact, Gary Tompkins signed with the University of Miami, but then an incident in his past came up, an assault case that the school became aware of, and then they rescinded their scholarship offer. It didn't look like Omar caught the ball cleanly anyway, but it's still a good hit by Gary Tompkins.
Yeah, just a terrific hit. Nothing you can do. You know, the receivers going across the field, those are the ones that you'd rather have the ball in your numbers. He goes up and raises his hands, and that was a free shot. Could have put a bullseye on Omar's number 9, and Gary Tompkins really delivered a strike that time for the Mountaineer secondary. And you see Omar, the repercussions of that, you see him still down. He got hit sort of underneath the chin, it looked like.
Yeah, it could be some stitches there on the chin or something a little more serious. It's hard to tell at this point. Gary Tompkins, by the way, best friends with Miami linebacker Rod Mack. As you see, Omar sitting up. In fact, I asked Rod this week, are you going to call Gary? And he said no. He says, we're not playing very well. I don't want to discuss things with anybody. I just want to focus on what we've got to do. And you see Omar is up and, okay, trotting off the field, getting some high fives. But
Yeah,
Miami's now with a 4th down, and they keep the offense on the field. A little too far for a field goal, too close to punt. So they're going to go for it.
Yeah, with that wind coming out of the east today, Frank, the ball on the 32-yard line. Miami needs a big 4th down play, 4th and 10, and they come out with Daniel Franks, it looks like, and Santana Moss to the wide side with Reggie Wayne to the near side.
Well, you go back to that 1st down play when Moss was the hot receiver and couldn't hang on. Fake draw, Ryan with time. Going for the end zone, and Reggie Wayne, no, they say he juggled it out of bounds.
I think he caught it, Frank. I think he pinned it on his leg going out of bounds. That was a deflection by the West Virginia defensive back. Wayne makes a terrific catch. They call it no good, but let's take another look at this. On the post pattern, you see him running on Nate Terry, number 28. The ball's deflected by Nate Terry right here with his left hand. Then it looks like he pins it on his leg. Let's see if he does, in fact. Yes, he does, Frank. It looks like a catch and a touchdown.
That looks like a catch and a touchdown to me from the end zone. Now,
exactly.
In fairness to the official, he was shielded by Reggie Wayne's body and didn't see it pinning it against his leg. But it does go as an incompletion, and West Virginia will take over at their own 32-yard line.
Well, I wish he had my spot. I saw it the first time. That was a great concentration play by number 87, the freshman Reggie Wayne.
Tremendous play by Reggie. Zeraway on the carry. Rod Mack had him, couldn't hold him, and then the cavalry arrives. Chad Pegues in there on the tackle, and a late flag comes in. The Miami defense held it to a gain of 1.5 yards, or maybe even a little less than that, but this could go against Miami. Face mask on Miami, and it looks like to be 15.
Well, anytime you get a lot of orange jerseys flying to the ball and you have a back that's not real big, he's 5'10" and 200 pounds, and he's ducking and bobbing and weaving, you get a lot of arms going around the headgear and the shoulder pads. That time, a Miami defensive player comes up with a face mask call.
There's Jim McConaughey, our referee.
Personal foul, dropping the face mask on the defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Well, that'll move it up to the West Virginia 48-yard line. We'll take another look at it and see if we can pick up who the guilty party was. But back-to-back plays that really could have an impact on this game. The non-call on the apparent Reggie Wayne touchdown, and now a good defensive play. Looks like Rod Mack may have gotten his hand on the face mask there.
Yeah, right away. He was the first man to the point of attack for Miami, number 51, Mack.
So an automatic 1st down for the Mountaineers with 4:51 to go first quarter. Bulger quickly to Foreman, and he drops it. Well, that's one each way.
That's right, Frank. And I don't know, early in this football game, I get the feeling that Miami's a little bit more excited about playing football. They need to be, because they need a victory today. But at least there's a little bit more energy on defense and offense of trying to push the ball downfield offensively. Defensively, a lot of people scrambling to the football. It looks like there's a little bit more energy on that sideline and in that defensive huddle today for the Hurricanes.
2nd and 10 for the Mountaineers. Miami leading at 3-0 on an Andy Crossland 32-yard field goal on their first possession. And Mark Bulger wants a timeout. Well, facing a 2nd and 10, he saw something he didn't like, or perhaps the wrong personnel group for West Virginia, as you see Don Nealon talking to his sophomore quarterback. There's 4 minutes, 46 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. It's Miami 3, West Virginia nothing. We'll return with Big East football on Sports Channel after this. Crossland leads West Virginia 3-0. Remember, football fans, Sports Channel is your home for the state's most comprehensive NFL pregame show. Tune in Sunday at 10 for a preview of the Bucs-Cardinals matchup and the exciting battle between the Jaguars and Redskins. Huddle up on Sunday Morning NFL exclusively on Sports Channel. 4:46 left to go first quarter. West Virginia on their second possession, facing a 2nd and 10 at their own 48-yard line. Amos Zeraway remains the running back with the fullback Leroy White in a wing to the left. And now White in motion. Bulger with the play fake and a Statue of Liberty to Zeraway across the 50. Zeraway down the sideline. Amos Zeraway caught by Eugene Ridgely, but a huge gain down to the Miami 13-yard line.
Yeah, there's a flag down on the play, Frank, as well, but you got to love the creativity of that offense for West Virginia. Nice play. Looked like a quick hitch pass to the outside. Zeraway gets the Statue of Liberty and goes around the sideline.
And a holding call at the Miami 30-yard line as Nate Brooks basically was tackled by one of the West Virginia blockers. So that'll bring this play back, not from the original line of scrimmage. The spot of the foul was the Miami 30. We'll pick up our call from Jim McConaughey, the referee.
Holding on the offense during the run.
And it is holding. It'll bring it back to the Miami 40-yard line. Now, Denny Fortney has a chance to make a play, but he doesn't see Zeraway hooking around behind the quarterback.
Yeah, they designed that to leave him alone and try to get him to the quarterback. They don't see Amos Zeraway behind there. He's only 5'10", 200 pounds. He goes down and gets the football. Now it's a foot race. Eugene Ridgely does a nice job of tracking Zeraway down, but he had blocking out in front. It looked like he could go all the way, but brought back due to a holding call. That'll bring up 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
It was a 39-yard gain, but it goes from the Miami 13 back to the 40 now. So the penalty actually cost them 27 yards. This is Keaton, the backup tailback with some room. Keaton down the sideline. And Keaton finally run out of bounds by Eugene Ridgely at the Miami 16.
Well, that West Virginia offensive line, the left side, did a terrific job. Number 77, Solomon Page, and Steve Ford, 62, doing a great job up front of just creating down blocking on that Miami defensive front. Just a crease off the left side, off left tackle. Ridgely there for the stop for Miami, but just as soon as Miami gets a break on the penalty, they get it on the 13-yard line. Now it's back down to the 16-yard line. West Virginia moving in to score.
24-yard gain for Curtis Keaton, sophomore running back out of Columbus, Ohio. 1st and 10 at the Miami 16. Corey Ivy in motion. Play fake. Bulger over the middle, wide open. Chad Wable, touchdown.
Wow, just a busted coverage in the secondary. Free safety Eugene Ridgely looking at number 3, Nick Ward, like, I got him, you got him, who's got him? Nobody's got him. Touchdown for West Virginia. Just a play fake, and a great play that time by Bulger. Standing in the pocket, you had number 99, Denny Fortney, coming right at you. And you also see Dan Morgan in the play, number 44, but nobody there in the Miami secondary. That's got to be the free safety's man if they're in man coverage. Touchdown by Wobble, 87.
Jay Taylor on to attempt the conversion out of Brian Bauman's hold. And the kick is good. With 4 minutes, 23 seconds left to go in the first quarter, West Virginia has come storming back for a 7-3 lead. And, John, as you mentioned, just a busted coverage by Miami after 2 big West Virginia running plays.
Yeah, and you get a break on the holding call, gets the ball back to the 40-yard line, 1st and 10. Then they get a big play down to the 16-yard line. Little play action. You take a look at the quarterback, Bulger, on the sideline after that touchdown. Just play action. You see Denny Fortney almost there, but Eugene Ridgely in the middle of the football field. Somebody's got to account for the tight end in man coverage. No one does, and it's an easy pitch and catch for West Virginia. You see him there standing in the pocket. Takes a little hand shiver, but he'll take that and go to the bench, 6 points richer, 7 points richer now.
Well, you mentioned that after the play, Ridgely and Ward looked at each other like, the old Alphonse and Gaston, you got him, I got him. And so definitely a busted coverage there. A well-designed play by West Virginia, but it's not like they had receivers flooding a zone or anything like that.
No, really, Miami was in a sound defense, man coverage. You account for the receivers with secondary. When you go to your tight end, that usually means the free safety should have coverage on the tight end and man-to-man coverage. That time, just a miscommunication in that Hurricane secondary, allowing them an easy score, Frank. And really, after that penalty, it looked like Miami could get back in and just maybe force a punt chance, and that time just an easy score by the West Virginia Mountaineer offense.
You see Butch Davis discussing something with Jim McConaughey. Maybe back to that non-call on the end zone on the Reggie Wayne apparent catch. Let's take a look at West Virginia's scoring drive, and it did not take them long. It started at their own 32-yard line, 68 yards in just 5 plays and only 53 seconds. elapsed on the game clock.
Yeah, you hate to see that. You'd rather see them take it 4 or 5 minutes and force that punt, but only 53 seconds on that scoring drive. Just big plays, one after another for that West Virginia offense. Now it's 7-3 West Virginia over the Miami Hurricanes.
And Jay Taylor will kick it off. Jeff Popovich and Trent Jones standing deep for the Canes at their own 7-yard line. 4 minutes, 23 seconds left to go first quarter. Frank Forte and John Congemi with you on Sports Channel. And Taylor does the same thing, kicks it high and short. Fair catch signaled and caught out of bounds by Dennis Scott. Now I wonder if they're going to throw the flag because that ball went out of bounds before he touched it. It seemed like from up here. I didn't have a great angle on it.
Yeah, it looked like the ball would have went out of bounds had no Miami special team player caught the football. I think that's what they're going to call, or offside.
And they're calling offside on West Virginia. There was no flag on the ball going out of bounds. It appeared that Dennis Scott touched it after it had crossed the sideline, and now somebody else throws a flag down where the ball went out of bounds. Well, two officials on the far side discussed it, and just as we spoke to you, dropped the flag.
Yeah, interesting to see what this call is going to be. That was clearly 10 seconds after the play. I think they're discussing that, Frank, where the ball traveled out of bounds. Let's see what the official has to say.
Well, it went out at the 33, so the kicking it out of bounds would result in Miami having the ball at the 35, so it's only a two-yard difference.
Right.
And now Jim McConaughey calls over his side judge. And they'll explain their options to Miami. If you're Miami, do you make them kick it again? Or you just take it on the 35?
I think I take the field position and go. Got my offense on the field. They've been successful moving the football in West Virginia. Let's get good field position and go.
Now Ryan Clement discussing things with the officials. So let's take the ball in the 35 and let's get going. And here's Jim McConaughey to sort it out for us, hopefully.
We have 2 fouls on the play. Offside on the kicking team. Kick out of bounds on the kicking team. Receiving team will take the ball. First down at the 35-yard line.
We knew that, didn't we, Frank?
That's what we said all along. Miami will take it on the 35. Really only a 2-yard difference from where the ball went out of bounds. Ryan Clement, 3 out of 8 so far for 43 yards. Does have a drop by Santana Moss. So Miami looking to come back after the West Virginia score. And off to Edgerrin James. James grinds out 5 on first down. Jason Williams, the backup middle linebacker, number 44, had the first hit. Damon Cogdill finished off Edgerrin James, but a pickup of 5 on first down.
Yeah, nice line surge that time by the Canes offensive front, doing a good job getting off the football on first down. They have to be productive on first down. You see him just getting angle blocks on people to push them out of the way and doing a nice job on first down, creating a nice situation on second down for Ryan to either throw or pass.
Good block by Curlin Blaze, number 79, taking his man out of the play. Here's a look at Cogdill. Out of Miami, one of 14 Floridians on the West Virginia roster. Pitch to Edgerrin James, trying to get the corner, turned and does. Edgerrin to the 45. Edgerrin pulled down by Gary Tompkins, and a face mask penalty on Gary Tompkins as he just hog-collared Edgerrin James after a big pickup from the Miami 40 down to close to the West Virginia 30.
Yeah, Tompkins makes a bad play. He's made a couple good plays early in this football game, but he makes a bad play on Edgerrin James at the end there. Just not real smart by West Virginia in the secondary. You'll see nice blocks on the corner you see right there. Number 40, the fullback, Carlo Joseph, chipping and helping on the right tackle with Curlin Blaze, then comes out and kicks out, makes 2 blocks on one play, and there you see the face mask right there on West Virginia. That'll tack on another 15.
Face mask on the defense.
It's a 29-yard gain for Edgerrin James, plus 15 on the face mask. That'll put it at the West Virginia 16-yard line, where with 3:38 left to go first quarter, Miami has a 1st and 10.
Well, we mentioned West Virginia's last scoring drive of 53 seconds. Miami, maybe in 15 seconds, has the ball now on the West Virginia 16-yard line.
And again in that red zone where Miami has experienced some problems so far this season. Canes go with the double tight end to the top of your screen. Clement with play action. Magic Benton, and he stepped out of bounds at the 7-yard line, and a flag down on the tackle by Cogdill.
Flags are flying today, Frank. It looked like it was offsides on the defensive front for West Virginia. That's the first one. That second one has me guessing a little bit. I'm not sure what that was down by the goal line.
Well, Magic did step out between the 6 and 7-yard line. Well, so far, we're still 3:31 to go in the first quarter. This official has his hands full. There's flags on both sides of the original line of scrimmage and a flag down by the Miami goal line.
Yeah, and Butch not real happy on the sideline either.
2 fouls on the play. offside on the defense. That'll be declined. We have a late hit, personal foul, out of bounds on the defense. Half the distance to the goal. Ball will be on the 1 yard line.
Well, Butch is signaling
First
touchdown,
down.
but what he doesn't realize is that Magic stepped out on the 6 and 7 yard line. That happened before the late hit, although it's still, the foul still counts.
Well, Magic makes a reappearing act into this football game, does a nice job. Just a quick out, really a free play.
That's where he steps out.
Right there, but that makes a nice play. You see the defender just give up on the play. He would not have scored. It would have been out of bounds.
And then the late hit occurred after that. The whistles apparently had already blown, and Cogdell hit Benton anyway. So that moves it half the distance inside the 4 yard line.
See if the Canes can make a nice line surge here and bust one in for a score.
Well, they need to avoid negative plays. They've had a lot of those on first down in this situation. James, wide, touchdown, Edgerrin James.
Yeah, forget the line surge. I'll use my speed and go outside. A little fake inside. Does a nice job of freezing the defensive front and secondary of West Virginia. Then uses his speed to the pylon. Touchdown Canes. They answer, and they needed to answer that last score of West Virginia. Very positive play by Miami and a nice drive, quick drive. See him right there, use his speed to the outside. Nobody's going to touch Edgerrin when he gets to the corner. An easy score for the Miami Hurricanes.
3:26 left to go first quarter, so Miami roars right back with a 65-yard touchdown drive. And Andy Crossland will attempt the conversion out of the hold of Jeff Popovich. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is good. And with 3 minutes, 26 seconds remaining in the first quarter, it's Miami 10 and West Virginia 7. John, that's important for the Hurricanes to come back and answer West Virginia right away, and they did it in fine fashion.
Yeah, they really did. They showed their true colors coming down, using the aid of a big play and also a penalty to get inside of that red zone. Then they punch it in. You see right off the ball, Edgerrin wants to take that inside and follow his blocking of number 64, Ty Wise. Decides it's better to use his speed. He's got leverage. He's got outside speed to do that, to get to the corner. See, just a little chip block that time by 40 Carlo Joseph. Then it's all speed and all James to the corner of the end zone.
And again, Curlin Blaze just collapsed his side of the defensive front for West Virginia. Blaze, number 79, the right tackle, clearing the path for Edgerrin James and the touchdown. Well, Miami has, the past 2 games, only 1 offensive touchdown from scrimmage. They did not score an offensive touchdown against Arizona State. Really scored 1 offensive touchdown against Pittsburgh. The other came on the fake field goal. So I'm sure the offensive coaches, Larry Coker, the offensive coordinator up in the press box, happy to see the Miami offense get it into the end zone. They have been struggling. The broadcast rights to today's telecast have been granted to Sports Channel Florida by ESPN Regional, solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any reproduction, transmission, or other use of this program without the express written consent of ESPN Regional or Sports Channel Florida is prohibited. Frank Forte and John Pingemi with you on Sports Channel. And we want to send out our best wishes to our normal or our regular director in the truck, Mike Rubin, who is laid up with a sprained back, I believe it is. And so we wish Mike well, and hopefully we'll see him back next week at Florida State. But for today, Mike's going to take the day off.
Yeah, put your feet up, Mike, and relax.
And we have the ever-capable Jeff Brenner in the truck, filling in. George Gaitan will kick it off. And again, Nate Terry standing back deep along with Curtis Keaton. 10-7, Miami. An Andy Crossland field goal opened the scoring. Mark Bulger to Chad Wabel for 16 yards for the West Virginia touchdown. And Edgerrin James has just scored on a 3-yard run. Here's the kick from Gaitan. This time he drills it deep, and Terry watches it sail out of bounds. So West Virginia will take it at the 35-yard line.
Well, just as Miami had instant field position on their last scoring drive, West Virginia do that kick going out of bounds. You see right there saying it's my fault, and no one knows that better than Butch Davis right now.
Let's take a look at Miami's scoring drive, and like West Virginia's, it took less than a minute. The Hurricanes going 65 yards in 4 plays, capped off by the Edgerrin James touchdown run. West Virginia will start at their 35 after the kickoff out of bounds. I know they want to keep it away from Nate Terry, and Gaitan trying to put it in the corner, just pulled the ball a little too much in golf terms.
That's right.
Take a look out of bounds.
Take a look at that huddle at linebacker. You see number 43, James Sutton, in the ball game. Also, you see number 98, Matt Sweeney. So Miami really getting people, fresh people into the ball game. It's a hot day, even though it's a little overcast and cloudy. It's pretty hot on that playing field. Also, Robert Hall, number 85, he's in the ball game. So Miami really shuttling in on defense, getting a lot of fresh people, a lot of fresh bodies into play against this West Virginia offense.
And also Delvin Brown, the true freshman out of Carroll City, in at free safety. First down for the Mountaineers. Zerouay, the running back. Counter play to Zerouay. Cuts through a hole, runs over Dwayne Starks, and then Starks and Rod Mack combine on the tackle. But quite a collision between Dwayne Starks and Amos Zerouay. As you mentioned, Amos not real big, about 5'10", but I saw him at the walkthrough yesterday, John. He is put together.
Yeah, he is. He's really built. You take a look at 62, Steve Ford on the outside doing a nice job blocking that time on number 99, Denny Fortney. And then you see the collision. Zerouay is put together. He's only 5'10", but he can bring a pack. You see right there, bang! And the defensive back, Dwayne Starks, goes backwards. He delivered. He got a little bit lower than Dwayne Starks that time. That was the key.
They list Dwayne at 175, and that might be charitable. He's willing to hit them. On second down, Bulger on the rollout. Foreman complete in the Miami 48, tackled right there by Nick Ward and Dennis Scott. But that is a West Virginia first down, a pickup of 11.
Well, earlier in the ball game, you saw Ryan Clement try to get away, get outside of the pocket for a little bit, buy a little bit more time. That time, West Virginia does a nice job of getting outside the pocket. Sean Foreman runs a nice route. Looks like he's going to run a go route. Then he throttles it down and just runs a comeback to the outside. Nice delivery of the football that time by Mark Bulger on the outside. You see Nick Ward on the coverage for the Canes, but not until a first down for the Mountaineers.
2:24 left to go first quarter. Miami leading 10-7. First down, West Virginia, inside Miami territory. Bulger's pass to Foreman on the screen. Dennis Scott read it well, and then James Sutton will help out. Foreman does get a yard or two out of it, although Scott read the play well and broke it down.
That play was very successful 2 years ago down in the Orange Bowl. Saunders, the wideout for West Virginia, ran that play to perfection against the Canes. This time the Canes up to it. Minimal gain, maybe 2 yards, if that, Frank.
Miami offensive touchdown, by the way, their first offensive score against West Virginia since 10:59 of the third quarter in the 1995 game. That marks a 97-minute and 33-second span. Their only touchdown last year, of course, coming on the block punt in the 10-7 Miami win. That is the score now, 1:40 left to go first quarter here at the Orange Bowl. Bulger on the delay to Zerouay, and he's dropped in the backfield. Dan Morgan, the true freshman linebacker out of Taravella High School, Coral Springs, Florida, making the play, a loss of 2.
Yeah, you talk about freshmen on the offense, outside receivers. There's a guy on defense, number 44, Dan Morgan, at the top of the screen, coming right down, untouched. And you see there, 99, good pressure by Denny Fortney, but a nice play by the freshman Morgan at the will linebacker position, coming right down. He's the right man in the right spot that time for the Hurricane defense.
Morgan comes out as Miami goes with their nickel defense on 3rd and 11. Shotgun formation for West Virginia, 3 wide receivers in the formation. Dennis Scott on the safety blitz, pass broken up by Eugene Ridgely. It was intended for Corey Ivy, so Miami coming on a little blitz there, safety blitz with Dennis Scott.
Well, you can feel the excitement today for the Hurricanes, trying to do a little bit more on offense and on defense, trying to be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more assertive out there on the football field. It looked like they've been a little passive and just trying to go by on pure ability. Well, let's try to create some pressure on defense, make some big plays on offense. They're doing it today on both sides of the football.
It was a fake punt, but the snap is bobbled, and the ball loose, still loose. It looked like it was thrown forward by West Virginia. Dan Morgan has a penalty flag down. That should be an illegal forward pass.
Yeah, definitely a penalty coming in. West Virginia tried to advance the football. You really can't do that. A fake punt was there. Looked like Valdez, number 34 for Miami, picking up the loose ball.
The snap came to the up back, but it was high off his shoulder.
It didn't look like he was ready for the ball. You know, it didn't look like he was running the fake. It looked like he was looking for the ball to go by him. He really had no intention of catching it. Maybe the ball was snapped early, but fortunately for Miami, they get a big break and get the ball on the 45-yard line.
Now, I'm wondering if they're going to credit Wilber Valdez with an interception because the ball was thrown. I don't know if they say the man was down or not, but Wilber picked it off in the air, and a penalty flag came down, so Miami has the ball at West Virginia's 45. West Virginia going for a little fake punt. It does not work. And with 48 seconds left to go in the first, Miami has the ball in Mountaineer territory. Clement will throw it on first down with time. Has a wide open Mondrell Fulcher and missed him. I think you got to put that one on Ryan Clement.
Yeah, no one knows that better than number 16. Fulcher ran a terrific route, goes down the field, fakes to the corner. The defensive secondary takes the bait, and Mondrell cuts it back inside. Ryan had him all alone, just needed to put it on him. Even a little bit more air on that pass. Take a look at the top of your screen. 18, you'll see 11 go outside, and just a perfect pass. It didn't really have to be perfect, just anywhere close, and it's a touchdown for the Canes.
That definitely was 6 points. But Ryan could not deliver, and Ryan, who struggled last week against Pittsburgh, made a bad throw there. Now it's 2nd and 10, Clement checking off. Blitz is on, and Chris Jones can't hang on. Coverage by Barrett Green.
Well, this is the pattern that Miami offense was in for those 2 games, that they really weren't getting anything done. They'd miss a big play, an opportunity for a touchdown that possibly could make an easy play. Then they come back and they drop a pass. Now you've got 3rd down and 10 instead of the score being 17-7 Miami.
Well, you can look back on plays like that. Right now, maybe they don't seem that big. At the end of the game, they may turn out to be very big.
Well, Frank, there's only about 5 or 6 plays during a football game that come around with opportunities like that. You have to take advantage of them if you're Miami, especially if you're struggling on offense.
Clement, 2 of his last 7. West Virginia showing blitz, and here they come. Clement racing out of the pocket. Ryan looking for some help. Gets a block from Curlin Blaze, and Ryan Clement run out of bounds at the 34-yard line, but Reggie Wayne had a late hit, and Ryan was hit late. There's flags down all over the place. Barrett Green hit Clement late, and then Reggie Wayne took a shot at a West Virginia defender.
Yeah, it's getting pretty chippy on the field today. That's about the 3rd time you've seen a late hit or a face mask or something happen like that, and there's no need for it. You see Ryan getting a little excited. I'd be a little excited too. That was no need for that. He's going out of bounds. Let's see who does it.
Oh, yeah, clothesline. Looked like
that
Barrett
was horrible.
Green.
Yeah, it was Green.
I mean, you could certainly construe that as an attempt to injure.
Yeah, that's to the head. That should be disqualification. He should be thrown out of the football game. You can't do that. You're going to go tackle somebody and play tough and aggressive football. That's one thing. When you take a shot and clothesline somebody on the sideline, you should get a penalty and he should be ejected.
Ryan gained about 12 yards on the play. Now watch Reggie Wayne also. Just throws a little shoulder into John Thornton there.
Just let him know he's there. That was one of those just keep your head on a swivel. You know I'm coming.
Well, I'll tell you what, for a wide receiver to do that for a defensive lineman, you may not like the sportsmanship involved, but you like the attitude of Reggie Wayne going after somebody as a wide receiver. On 1st down, Edgerrin James gets a block from Ty Wise. And Edgerrin gets what he can out of the play. Down close to the 15-yard line. Nate Terry making the tackle along with Steve Lippy, number 50, the backup linebacker.
It's pretty intense on that football field. 15 yards, 20 yards from the play. You'll see number 87, a freshman, does a great job. Reggie Wayne downfield blocking on defensive back. So that word's gotten out from Butch Davis through his coaching staff to this team. Let's be more aggressive on both sides of the football today.
Edgerrin James, 10 carries, 48 yards on a touchdown. We have come to the end of the 1st quarter. Here at the Orange Bowl on Sports Channel, it's the Hurricanes 10, West Virginia 7. We'll be right back after this. Start of the 2nd quarter at the Orange Bowl in Miami, Florida. The Hurricanes with a 10-7 lead over West Virginia and threatening. They have a 2nd and 6 at the Mountaineer 15-yard line. To look at Ryan Clement, the Hurricane quarterback who took a clothesline shot from Barrett Green, that man who was pulled out of the game by Don Nealon after that penalty, which cost West Virginia 15 yards.
Yeah, Don Nealon spent a little time in Barrett Green's ear on the sidelines as well, Frank.
Green out of West Palm Beach. And there is Don Nealon, giving it to Barrett Green. Pretty good. Important point in the ball game here for the Hurricanes. And again, looked like Eric Schnupp raised up out of his stance.
Yeah, that's the 2nd time if they get number 55. That's the 2nd time in at right guard that he's been a little jittery coming out of his stance early.
Well, those are just mental errors, John. Those aren't physical errors. Those are mental errors.
And especially, Frank, after a timeout, you've got your wind, you've relaxed a little bit, you come out, you've got one play to concentrate on, and you've got one snap count. And sometimes in the heat of battle, you lose sight of that, but you've got to have more concentration, a little bit more mental toughness to hang in there and wait for the snap count.
Well, Eric is very inexperienced. He's in there because Carlos Callejas had a toe injury in the 1st quarter. Ball back at the 20-yard line. Clement under a rush, and he's going to go down. Henry Slay got him. Sacked back at the 27-yard line.
Boy, and if he had enough time, he had Santana Moss coming down on motion. wide open in the middle of the field. Just didn't have enough time to even step into a throw. Nice pressure that time by the Henry Slay. You see him, the 21st consecutive start. That's the most on the team for the Mountaineers, but he leads that team up front. He's the senior with pressure from that defensive front.
Henry Slay, 12 tackles coming into the game, and with 1 tackle for loss. That is his first sack. Look at Reggie Wayne downfield, and Gary Tompkins says, how do you do?
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on, Frank. Hopefully it'll be a little bit more white shirts going down than orange shirts.
This is out of the shotgun for all you Hurricane fans who've been wanting it. Pass complete to Santana Moss, going for the end zone just shy. Santana Moss inside the 1-yard line.
Santana Moss runs terrific routes, especially to the outside on those corner routes. He has terrific feet, and he gets in and out of routes with great quickness. That time, Ryan Clement taking advantage of the corner route by Santana Moss on the outside, number 48. Big play for the Canes, especially after that last play. You see the shotgun, which is unheard of. He steps in and throws a bullet outside to Santana Moss. He was wide open on the play, Frank. Almost tiptoes in and keeps his feet to get in for the score, but gets it down to the 1-yard line.
Santana Moss caught only 1 pass against Pittsburgh last week for 9 yards, but we watched him with the coaches on film, and he runs gorgeous patterns.
He really does. He uses his quickness.
Ryan Clement on the quarterback keeper scores the touchdown.
Great series, a great answer by the Hurricane offense, and Ryan Clement real excited after getting clotheslined on the sideline. He takes it in on the quarterback sneak for a 1-yard touchdown and a Hurricane score.
This is about as excited as I've seen Ryan in a long time. He's always an intense guy. He's always a competitor, but he is really fired up.
Well, Ryan hadn't had a lot of reason to get excited this season. He played well against Baylor, but he's been taking a beating the last couple of weeks, getting a lot of shots and missing Mondrell Fulcher down the middle of the football field. He gets to vent a little bit and gets in for the score and gets the Hurricanes back on top by a score, hopefully, of 17-7.
Crossland's conversion kick is up and through there. And with 13 minutes, 46 seconds left to go in the second quarter, the Hurricanes now with a 10-point lead, Miami 17 and West Virginia 7. We'll continue with Big East football here on Sports Channel from the Orange Bowl after this. Ryan Clement just scored on a 1-yard touchdown run, giving the Hurricanes a 17-7 lead with 13:46 left to go in the second quarter. The Miami scoring drive. Take a look at it, and Miami moving the football very effectively from the West Virginia 45-yard line after the failed fake punt. 7 plays, 2 minutes and 2 seconds. The Clement touchdown set up by a 26-yard completion to Santana Moss. We just had a shower here at the Orange Bowl, and now the sun has just burst back through. So a shower that lasted all of about 90 seconds, and George Gaitan will kick it off. Curtis Keaton back to receive it along with Nate Terry. Miami with a 10-point lead, 17-7. And here's Gaitan's kickoff. Nate Terry will take it at the 10. Terry, and he's going to be dumped right there at the 15-yard line. Delvin Brown got the first hit, and then it looked like Jeff Popovich finished him off.
Yeah, Jeff Popovich came in, number 33, to finish that off. Great job by Miami special teams. Last time they kicked the ball out of bounds, West Virginia instant field position at the 35. Now they get it at the 16-yard line.
Well, let's see if the Miami defense can come up big here. West Virginia's offense so far, 89 yards, but you see 60 penalty yards. Not all of those are on offensive penalties.
Yeah, that West Virginia offense has been aided a little bit by Miami penalties, but it's gone both ways. West Virginia now has to drive a little bit farther than they've been accustomed to. Let's see if Amos Zaraway gets into this ball game. Up to this point, he's only had 5 carries for 28 yards.
Triple wide receiver set for West Virginia on first down. Fake to Zaraway, Bulger on the rollout. Throws low, but completes it to Corey Ivy up at the 23-yard line. Pickup of 8 on first down.
Ivy does a nice job of going down and getting that football, but nice play on first down. Fake to Zaraway, which everybody thought he may carry the football. I did, to try to get West Virginia back on track. Nice play going downfield. Good play on first down, Frank.
Gain of 8 to the 24-yard line. They'll bring up 2nd and 2. Still trips wide receivers for the Mountaineers. Zaraway, the lone running back. And it's Zaraway with the football. Gets some good blocking, and Zaraway with first down yardage out to the 34-yard line.
Great job at the point of attack that time, Frank, by that Mountaineer offensive line, especially that tight end to that side, 87, Chad Wobble on the end of the line. Zaraway had plenty of room to run. It just takes it north and south, makes Miami pay, gets it all the way up to the 33-yard line.
Pickup of 10 for Zereoué. It's a first down just past the West Virginia 33. 12 minutes, 50 seconds left to go second quarter. You look at Zereoué's numbers this afternoon.
I look for that to go up, those attempts, Frank. Only 6 attempts to this point in the ball game.
Sean Foreman in motion. And Bulger will throw it. Complete to Ivy. Gets away from Nick Ward. Dennis Scott has to make the tackle at the 46-yard line of West Virginia, but that's another Mountaineer first down.
Yeah, the Mountaineers starting to open it up a little bit, trying to play fake to their famous Amos Zereoué in the backfield. Ivy with 2 receptions on this drive so far, number 8 for West Virginia. Just play action, plenty of time for Bulger to throw the football, but great timing. Sets his feet, throws the strike outside, and then almost slips the tackle of Nick Ward for a big play. Morgan and also Dennis Scott on the tackle, but West Virginia moving with ease in this drive.
Pickup of 12, first down Mountaineers at their 46. Zereoué again the lone running back. And Zereoué has the football on the counter. Good block out in front. Zereoué skips a tackle. Zereoué down the sideline. Amos Zereoué cuts back and he's going to score. Amos Zereoué goes all the way for a 54-yard West Virginia touchdown. Poor tackling by the Hurricanes.
Yeah, poor tackling by the Hurricanes, Frank. You called it. Zereoué, though, had enough athletic ability to elude those tacklers and get it downfield. Just a terrific run and great blocking by the offensive line for West Virginia. Counterplay, Zereoué showed great patience, goes down the West Virginia sideline for the score. Now they're back in this football game with 11:56 left to go. You'll see at the point of attack, just great blocking outside by Hollard, number 69. Now it's all Zereoué. He eludes one tackler on the sideline. He's gone for the score.
Well, Nick Ward had a clean shot at him and didn't make the tackle. Jay Taylor's conversion is up and good. And with 11 minutes and 56 seconds to go second quarter, the Miami lead, just like that, 10 a couple of minutes ago, and not even a couple of minutes, is back down to 3 on Amos Zereoué's 54-yard touchdown run. Let's take another look at the touchdown run. Derek Ham got hooked at the point of attack, and Dan Morgan got chopped down. And this is after Nick Ward missed the tackle and a good cutback.
Yeah, great cutback. You see number 23, Dwayne Starks, full speed. Zereoué notices that, sort of idles it down on the sideline, cuts it in for the touchdown, Frank. Just a nice response by West Virginia's offense.
11 minutes, 56 seconds to go second quarter. It's Miami 17, West Virginia 14. We'll be right back on Sports Channel after this. See the score and time remaining second quarter here at the Orange Bowl. Hurricanes lead it by 3. Nobody covers the NFL like Sports Channel. Tune in to Sunday Morning NFL every Sunday at 10 a.m. The state's most comprehensive pregame show takes a look at Florida's NFL matchups. It's all right here on Sports Channel. A rather easy scoring drive by West Virginia. Took them only 4 plays, and they went 84 yards in just those 4 plays, capped off by the Amos Zereoué 54-yard touchdown run. And John, the defensive coaches for Miami can't be very happy. Poor tackling on 2 of those 4 plays.
Yeah, you're right, Frank. And by looking at that scoring drive, that was a marathon scoring drive, 1 minute and 50 seconds. We've had a couple at 52 and 55 seconds. That goes on 1 minute and 50 seconds. So West Virginia answers right away, and Miami has to do a better job of tackling. They were a little bit more aggressive at the start of this ball game. Now they're a little bit getting back to a little bit more of arm tackling, a little bit, looks like a little tired on defense.
Here's the kickoff from Taylor. Trent Jones drifting back to his 1. Jones gets away from one man. Jones across the 20 and out to the 24-yard line. And that's where Miami will start first and 10.
Haven't seen Trent Jones in that offensive backfield. Saw him a little bit today, but in the previous ball games, it looks like Edgerrin James getting the bulk of work back there, but you've seen him on special teams. Kickoff returns 5 for a 24-yard average, doing a nice job trying to advance the football and give Miami instant field position for that offense to work out of.
First and 10 Hurricanes at the 24-yard line. Nick Williams in at fullback for the Canes, along with James Jackson seeing his first action tailback. Jackson with the football behind a Williams block. Jackson up to the 30-yard line. Gary Tompkins making the tackle, but a nice pickup on first down, 6 yards.
Well, right away, you mentioned number 30, Nick Williams, in the ballgame, along with number 21, James Jackson. Doesn't waste any time delivering a block at 269 pounds. Does a nice job of making some room for James Jackson to slide through. Nice pickup on first down. Miami's been productive on first down when they've run the football effectively on the perimeter, off tackle and trying to get outside, using their speed to get to the corner.
11:15 left to go second quarter. 2nd and 4 for the Canes. Williams and Jackson remain the running backs.
Here comes some pressure, Frank. Man coverage.
Clement double pumps, finds Reggie Wayne. And Wayne gets up to the 46-yard line before Tompkins and Terry make the tackle, but that's a first down for the Hurricanes, a gain of 16.
Nice adjustment by Ryan Clement, and great job outside by a freshman receiver. Pressure defense converted into a quick slant. Ryan pumps it once, gives him time to go past the linebacker, Cogdill, number 1. Nice patience by Clement, and nice concentration by 87, Reggie Wayne. Had enough patience to keep going on his route, had confidence that the quarterback would get him the football, and he did.
10:49 left to go second quarter. First down Miami at their 46. And Ryan Clement wants a timeout. Carlos Calles, by the way, is back in the football game at right guard for Miami. He went out early with a toe injury. But Carlos is back in there, and that's good for Miami. 10:41 left to go second quarter. John's been kind of a direct opposite of last year's game, a 10-7 defensive struggle up at Morgantown. This game's been wide open. There's a look at Carlos Calles, the senior out of Miami High School, who is back in the ball game. By the way, the 4 touchdown drives today, 2 for each team. West Virginia, a 53-second drive and a minute 50 drive. Miami, a 57-second drive and a 2:02 drive.
Yeah, they're doing it with quickness today on both sides of the football. I'm not sure what Ryan saw to make him call timeout. It looked like he had 5 or 6 seconds left to go on that 25-second clock, but right now he's on the sidelines. You see Hadley discussing some defensive strategy over on the West Virginia sidelines. Both teams playing with a lot of energy. They were going up and down the field with quickness. You see Ryan doing a nice job getting his freshman wide receiver, showing confidence in that audible on the last play. Did a nice job delivering the football on the quick slant to Reggie Wayne. Look for more of that as West Virginia gets closer to the goal line. They like to put some pressure on opposing offenses. Look for Ryan to look outside again. Hopefully he gets back outside to Santana Moss. Does a good job one-on-one. If he's in the ball game, look out. He can make you miss.
Along the Miami offensive line, Robert Sampson has moved from left guard to left tackle. Ty Wise is the left guard, Mike Weiner the center, Carlos Calles the right guard, and Freeman Brown right now giving Curlin Blaze a rest at right tackle.
Remember 2 years ago, Frank, they had to do a little bit of this on this offensive line. A lot of guys, after Casey Jones had that knee injury, a lot of guys got some playing time at different positions. Now you have Richard Mercier out for the season, so a lot of those guys on the offensive line, even though they're penciled in as a backup center or a backup guard or tackle, they may move around, and this is very valuable for that offensive line to gain some experience at different positions. You saw number 55, Eric Schnupp, in the ball game earlier at right guard, so a lot of guys in there getting valuable experience.
Schnupp was guilty of 2 false starts, so now Ty Wise, who is a converted center, is in there at left guard. Ty can play center or guard. Versatile kid. He had a knee injury in training camp and, in fact, missed some of the early games. But he's back with a brace on, and hopefully he'll be healthy. That's one area where Miami really can't afford any more injuries with Richard Mercier gone for the season. They were a little thin there to start with.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many pass catches tight ends have got today in the Miami offense, but at least they're looking at him, Frank. The last couple of weeks, really non-existent. At least they're getting him in the offense and trying to get him some plays at tight end.
Yeah, Bubba Franks had 1 catch early, and then Mondrell Fulcher was wide open. Ryan missed him for what would have been a touchdown. First and 10, Canes at the 46. Darrell Jones in motion. Clement with the first down throw. Off the hands of Fulcher and almost caught by Magic Benton. And again, Ryan Clement hit the turf.
Yeah, he's taken a beating back there in the last couple of weeks. Today he's gotten some shots, but only after delivering the football. He stands tall in the pocket, tried to get the ball to his tight end there, but take a look right here. He stays in the pocket. A lot of pressure in his face. Sometimes it's tough to see. If you have to have, as a quarterback, you have to have alleys to throw through. You really don't throw over people as much as you throw through lanes. That time, a lot of people in his face.
Triple wide receiver for the Hurricanes, and Trent Jones is the lone running back. On 2nd and 10, blitz coming. Ryan gets it outside to Omar Roll. Roll stutter steps his way to the West Virginia 43-yard line and has a Miami first down.
And again, Ryan picking himself off the turf on a 3-step drop. That play was made by number 1, Darrell Jones. He was the outside receiver, almost a little pick play. He comes in on the quick slant, and you see Omar Roll going outside on a diagonal route to the flat. Does a nice job getting leverage outside that West Virginia secondary. Gives him the first down.
Boo Sensabaugh, number 19, pushed him out, but it is a Hurricane first down. Nick Williams and James Jackson now form the running back tandem behind Ryan Clement as the Canes have a first down at the Mountaineer 43. 10:32 left to go second quarter. Jackson looking to get wide. Jackson to the 40, and to just inside the 40 is Sensabaugh, tripped him up, a pickup of almost 4. Charles Fisher also helping out on the tackle.
Yeah, Miami trying to attack the perimeter on first down with their running plays, going off tackle and really not like a sweep, but it almost turns out being a speed play to the outside. That time, James Jackson, 21, trying to get the corner, gets 4 yards, Frank, but another productive play. They haven't been stymied and really stopped on first down. Miami's really stopped themselves on first down by incompletions or drops.
2nd and 6 for the Hurricanes. Ball at the West Virginia 39. A look into the eyes of Ryan Clement, the senior quarterback from Denver, Colorado. Canes lead by 3. Delay to Jackson. Jackson squirts through a hole across the 35-yard line and will be close to first down yardage. Looks like the spot has him with the first down. Jamie Sweeney, the outside linebacker, number 48, just tripped up James Jackson.
Boy, it was a defensive blitz by West Virginia. If James Jackson eludes the shoestring tackle right here, if he gets through that leg tackle, he could get into the secondary and get a lot more, possibly even get to the end zone. West Virginia was gambling. They bring the strong safety from the outside. Jackson sees that and cuts up inside his blocking. Could have been a bigger play for the Canes.
9:26 left to go second quarter. First down at the West Virginia 33. Clement under pressure, lost it out too far for Nick Williams. The blitz was on from Jamie Sweeney, and that forced the incompletion.
Yeah, nice play defensively. Sometimes that defense is going to win battles, and that time on first down, they beat Miami to the punch. Good pressure from the corner. A little play action, want a bootleg here after the play fake, but Ty Wise didn't get out quick enough just to get enough of Brady on the outside, number 43. If Ty Wise makes that play, Ryan can step underneath and deliver a strike.
Clement's been knocked down on every pass play on this drive so far. 2nd and 10 Miami. Blitz coming. Clement reads it, delivers to the outside, complete to Magic Benton down at the West Virginia 24, a pickup of almost 9. Greg Hernandez, the backup corner, had the coverage.
It looks like Miami's going to attack the receiver position by committee. Maybe not 1 or 2 people are going to carry the load. Maybe 5 or 6 people get involved. It's good to see Magic Benton getting back into the ball game here. He's had 2 catches now on the day. And Butch Davis said he competed a little bit more this week at practice. And I guess Omar Roll did too. And he liked that. And he said he'll try to get them in the ball game.
Third down, little over a yard for the Hurricanes. They have to reach the West Virginia 23. Chris Jones in motion. Give to James Jackson, tries to bounce outside, and Damon Cogdell dropped him for a loss. Maybe a bad decision there by James Jackson trying to bounce outside on a 3rd and 1.
Yeah, when you have 3rd and 1, you really have to go north and south, but Cogdell did a good job of getting across the line of scrimmage on the right side of the top of your screen. Just looked like he slipped through 2 blocks at the point of attack. Daniel Franks, number 88, looked like he had him pinned, but looked like Cogdell turned his shoulder pad sideways and goes up the field. You see him right there. He beats both tight ends, Chris Jones and Daniel Franks, to the point of attack and loses probably 3 or 4 yards.
Loses 3. John, I'm always an advocate on 3rd and 1 or 3rd and 2. Just get your shoulders up the field. Don't try to get fancy and break it for a touchdown. All you're looking to do is get a first down. We're going to break for a commercial. There's 8 minutes left to go second quarter. It's Miami 17, West Virginia 14 at the Orange Bowl. 8 minutes even left to go second quarter. The Hurricanes with a 17-14 lead over West Virginia. Miami facing a 4th and 5 at the Mountaineer 28-yard line. They're 0 for 1 on 4th down today, and now a penalty flag flies in from the linesman on the far side of the field.
Are they saying someone was set on the offensive line and then came out?
Yep, false start. That's a bad mental mistake again. That's a 3rd false start on Miami on the offensive line, and they got Freeman Brown, the right offensive tackle, with a penalty.
Yeah, it looked like, Frank, the 2 tight ends, they went with 2 tight ends to the right side. They moved to the left side, and then that caused Freeman Brown almost to come from his 3-point stance up to a 2-point stance, and they caught it.
So Butch Davis will send the field goal team out on the field, and Andy Crossland will attempt what's going to be a field goal from just about 51 yards. His career long is 50. He's done that twice. Now, he does have a wind blowing out of the east at his back, or at least a quartering wind, although the flag's swirling around a little bit. Jeff Popovich will hold. Ball is down. Crossland did not get that ball very well at all, and it is well short. A 51-yard field goal try. He just did not hit that one. You could tell when it came off his foot. So West Virginia's defense, with the help of some mental errors by the Hurricane offense, will take over at their 33-yard line.
Yeah, that hurts. Miami really going in, poised to go for it on 4th down. They hurt themselves with a penalty, and now they give great field position to the West Virginia offense coming up onto the football field now with a little bit more enthusiasm, a little bit more emotion, getting the ball on the 33-yard line.
Well, that's what Butch Davis is talking about. Opportunities lost. Miami had a 3rd and 1 at the 24, and they wind up missing a 50-yard field goal. Bulger throwing for Foreman down the sideline, too far and out of bounds. Dwayne Starks had the coverage.
Yeah, I think, again, no matter who they put out there on number 23, Dwayne Starks, they're not going to have any success running speed for speed. Dwayne's got great speed. He's got great feet. And I just don't see him getting beat going man-to-man with the West Virginia wide receiving corps.
Well, what the Miami coaches told us West Virginia likes to do is they like to isolate Foreman to the wide side of the field, get him one-on-one coverage, and turn him loose. This time Foreman goes toward the boundary on 2nd and 10. Motion from Leroy White, the fullback. Bulger, again, that Statue of Liberty to Zereoué, and he's got all kinds of room. Zereoué across the 45, across the 50, and Chad Pegues finally ran him down. But again, Denny Fortney ran himself out of the play.
Yeah, and also the freshman linebacker Dan Morgan took an inside route. Really, he was inviting, the fullback was inviting him to go inside. He invites him to go inside, then tries to pin him to the inside. And also Denny Fortney, he gets fooled again. Now it's just a foot race. If the lineman passed up Dennis Scott, if he would have blocked him, West Virginia could still be running to the back of the end zone. You see Zereoué getting up saying, what are you doing? You passed up number 25, hit him. But just great play and a great call on that particular play.
Well, on 2nd and long, that's what West Virginia loves to run, Zereoué. Here's the pitch to Keaton. Keaton has nowhere to go, stutter stepping around, and is dragged down for a loss of a yard. The Miami defense closing on that one very quickly. Damian Lewis with the tackle for the Hurricane defense.
That time Miami runs to the football. Great pursuit, great team speed on defense, all led by the freshman, number 92, Lewis. A lot of orange jerseys around the football. That's a way to come back after a big play that West Virginia made previously on that Statue of Liberty.
And I say it again, John, West Virginia on 2nd and long, they like to give it to Zereoué on draws and this modified Statue of Liberty. Miami just hasn't been ready for it. 2nd and 11 for the Mountaineers at the Miami 48.
Looks like Miami,
lead it by 3.
Miami coming with a little pressure.
Bulger has plenty of time, going deep and overthrows. Going for Corey Ivy, who's looking for a flag and doesn't get it.
Yeah, that was man-to-man coverage down the field. Looked like Ivy on number 25, Dennis Scott. A little bit of collision downfield. No call by the official. The ball was not catchable, but they did make contact, and that threw off the timing from Bulger trying to get rid of the ball on the corner route. He knew he had a clock in his head. Miami came with pressure. He needed to get rid of the football in a hurry.
I think Miami still has to get more pressure on Bulger. Leroy White, the lone running back, as West Virginia again goes with a 3 wide receiver set on 3rd and 11. Out of the shotgun. And a whistle stops play, delay of game. Took too much time. The 25-second clock expired. We have 6:35 left to go 2nd quarter. And you see the call from Jim McConaughey, the delay of game. That'll move it from a 3rd and 11 to a 3rd and 16. And this, John, this is the situation where Miami's defense has to make plays.
You're right.
You can't let teams off the hook in situations like this.
Right. They need to come up right now with a sack and create some field position for their offense. Do something to disrupt the passing game right now of West Virginia. They come out now with 3 wide receivers again and a tight end to the short side.
3rd and 16 for the Mountaineers. Safety blitz on from Dennis Scott. Bulger has time, throws off the chest of Sean Foreman, who was tangled up with Dwayne Starks on the near sideline.
Dwayne did a good job. He was fighting from his knees that time. He slipped and fell. Looked like he may have reached up and got a hand on it, but nice pressure that time. Miami comes with a little bit of a blitz package from Dennis Scott coming from the outside. You see here 23, Dwayne Starks, man-to-man, eyeing the quarterback up, knows he plants and throws. He slips on the play. Looked like it was dropped. The ball got over his hand. Just a drop play by the outside receiver, Sean Foreman, but still good coverage and good position by Starks.
Bauman gets his punt away. Starks will let this ball bounce, and it's going to bounce out of bounds between the Miami 18 and 19-yard line. And that's where the Canes will take over 1st and 10. 6 minutes, 20 seconds left to go in the 2nd quarter here at the Orange Bowl. Miami with a 17-14 lead. So, John, the Miami defense stiffens up there after they give up another 20-yard gain to Amos Zereoué. But Zereoué is a guy they've got to zero in on, especially in those 2nd and long situations. That's West Virginia's tendency. They don't like to throw there. They like to run a safer play.
Yeah, and they have twice, once on a sprint draw and a couple times on the end around or the Statue of Liberty, doing a good job forcing Miami's defense inside. They have to come up with a big play, limit that gain, and get better field position than starting out on their own 17-yard line.
Carlo Joseph and Edgerrin James, the running backs behind Ryan Clement. Edgerrin James trying to get to the outside. James run out of bounds by Nate Terry, and there's going to be a flag. There's another face mask call coming up.
Yeah, and really, there was no need for it. He was just going to run him out of bounds that time, and he grabs the face mask. Nate Terry, the cornerback, just a foolish play by West Virginia.
Mountaineers definitely hurting themselves with penalties. Several face masks, a personal foul on one scramble by Ryan Clement.
Really uncharacteristic, too, of the
5
Don
yard
Nealon
face
team.
mask foul on the defense.
This one's only 5 yards. And we'll take another look at it.
Well, you see him right here. There's no room to run inside. James tries to go outside, tries to use a stiff arm of his own right here, but just a hand to the face, and I guess the official's right there on the spot. He had the best look at it, calls it on Terry, 5 yard variety, but still a bad play.
Makes it 1st and 5 for the Hurricanes. Ball now just shy of their 23-yard line. Kerlin Blaze back in the game at right offensive tackle, and Yaqub Abdul-Mateen has returned at left offensive tackle. Pitch to James, behind the block from Carlo Joseph. James to the 33-yard line. Run down by Boo Sensabaugh, the safety, but that will be a Miami first down and a pickup of 12.
Miami's had great success on that toss play with motion. You see number 31, Andre King, coming in and chipping down on the corner. That allows Edgerrin James to get the corner, have a lot of running room. Big play for Miami. It was 1st and 5. That time he goes for another first down.
6 minutes, 5 seconds left to go in the second period. Hurricanes hanging on to a 17-14 lead. Touchdowns from Edgerrin James on a 3-yard run. Ryan Clement on a 1-yard sneak. Clement gives it to James. Not much there. James closed down immediately. Middle of the West Virginia defensive line doing a good job there, and it's John Thornton, number 96, getting off the bottom of the pile. No gain, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Thornton's a junior at 285. Him and Henry Slay and Bob Baum up front for the University, for West Virginia University, doing a good job of controlling the line of scrimmage. Miami's had more success cutting off the edge, off tackle, or on sweep plays. Really no room to run inside the tackles today for Edgerrin James.
2nd and 10 Hurricanes. Clock moving with 5:16 to go in the second quarter. Tompkins comes on a blitz. They pick him up. Clement to the outside to Reggie Wayne at the 40. Wayne with a great move. Reggie Wayne trying to get to the outside and gets inside West Virginia territory at the 49-yard line. Damon Cogdell ran him out of bounds.
Ryan does
19. I'm sorry, John.
Frank, Ryan does a great job of staying in the pocket. You had West Virginia players right in his face. He takes a step back and then finds Reggie Wayne on the sidelines. You'll see right here, number 11, Tompkins gets airborne, but he steps up. Nice job by James flushing him around Ryan Clement. Look at this move here. Stops on a dime, goes back to the Miami sideline, and picks up another 5 to 10 yards. Just a great play by the freshman, Reggie Wayne.
5 minutes and 1 second left to go in the second quarter. First down, Miami. Just across midfield. Fake to James. Clement with time. Santana Moss, and Santana Moss makes a terrific catch at the 34-yard line of West Virginia, and it's a gain of 13.
Santana Moss gets airborne.
Oh, now wait a minute. Did they call it? One official came in from the back and called it incomplete.
Wow, that looked like a catch the first time, Frank, and Santana Moss looked like he may have got the wind knocked out of him or fell on the football, but just a terrific play. Playing the part of Superman is Santana Moss getting airborne here. Really tough to tell on the screen. It looked like he came down with the reception. You see him in motion coming across the secondary of West Virginia. Just a flood route to the short side. Santana Moss looked like he had control against until he hit the ground.
And there's a timeout, as we do have timeout on the field. With 4 minutes and 54 seconds left to go, Santana Moss possibly fell on the football, got the wind knocked out of him. But that'll happen from time to time. 17-14, Miami with the 3-point lead. Tight game here at the Orange Bowl. Another look at the catch, or the non-catch as it was ruled eventually. And now the pain starts to come in. Yep.
Yeah. Usually a second later, you might have seen the official saying no good. Usually when it's good, you run back to the huddle. When it's no good, you start grabbing something because the pain hurts a little worse.
Yeah, it hurts a lot more. 2nd and 10 Hurricanes. comes the blitz from West Virginia. Clement to Franks, who can't hang on. Steve Lippy had the coverage.
Yeah, Bubba Franks, he's a big target at 6'6", going down the field. You mentioned number 50, Steve Lippy, doing a nice job hanging on his back, just being close enough to be a distraction, gets his right hand in there and strips the ball away from Daniel Franks. But that could have been a nice play for Miami, going to the middle of the football field to their tight end.
Oh, another 3rd and long for the Hurricanes, 3rd and 10 with 4:50 left to go. Good look at Daniel Franks, otherwise known as Bubba, and ruining the fact that he could not come down with that football.
Magic Benton's got the middle of the field to work if he can just get by the underneath coverage here, Frank.
Late blitz for West Virginia. Clement over the middle. Reggie Wayne has it. Bounces off a tackle. Spins again. And Charles Fisher hanging on for dear life, but Reggie Wayne has a 17-yard gain and a 1st down. Ryan Clement slow getting up. In fact, still down on the turf back at the Miami 39-yard line.
Well, Ryan's been getting hit all day long, and this time he stays down, but now he's jogging it off. He looks like he wants to stay in the football game, but great play down the field. You take a look, there's just tons of pressure in his face right here. Just delivers a strike. Number 98, Kevin Lando, did a great job of creating the pressure. Just a game up front. Tackle goes inside and then outside, and it puts him right on his back. Great concentration that time down the field by Reggie Wayne, making people miss and carrying defenders.
One more look at the play, and on it, Gary Tompkins, the West Virginia safety, was injured. He is walking off the field limping somewhat. There's Tompkins, number 11. He delivered the first hit and looked like he might have twisted a knee or an ankle there. And then Charles Fisher just hung on for dear life as Reggie Wayne was trying to get away. We have 4 minutes, 40 seconds left to go second quarter. It's Miami 17, West Virginia 14. We get word that Gary Stills, the West Virginia rush end, is in surgery for that dislocated thumb he suffered early in the game and will not return. That just sounds painful.
Yeah.
I'm no doctor, but that sounds painful.
I got the cringe up the back of my neck, too, right on that one, Frank.
1st and 10 Hurricanes at the 31. 4.5 to go second quarter. Miami keeping the drive alive with a big 3rd down conversion. Edgerrin James with the football. James gets away at the 30, the 25, and is dragged out by Booth Sensabaugh at the 20-yard line. Should be 11 yards and a 1st down.
Nice individual effort that time by James on the outside. Looks like there's another player down for West Virginia. That's 2 and 2 plays. But right there, the offensive breakdown, you see 141 yards for James and Wayne. Just doing a great job. The rest of the team only with 133, so that's a 1-2 punch for Miami. Coming up big in this first half.
Jamie Sweeney, the West Virginia linebacker, the senior out of Greensburg, Pennsylvania, is down and in some distress as the West Virginia trainers look at the left knee, or the right knee, excuse me, and you see the brace he already has on. So apparently he has had some problems with that knee in the past. There's 4 minutes and 17 seconds left to go in the second quarter. The Hurricanes with the 17-14 lead over West Virginia as they work on Jamie Sweeney, and you see him covering his face, and this does not look real good for the young man.
Anytime you do that, Frank, you look like you already know what the diagnosis is going to be. He already has injury to that knee, and he's not really trying any effort to try to get up because that knee must be giving him a tremendous amount of pain, and we can only hope that it's not as serious as it looks right now.
Let's recap the scoring for you briefly. Andy Crossland opened the scoring with a 32-yard field goal for Miami. Mark Bulger hit Chad Wabel as tight end with a 16-yard touchdown to put West Virginia on top as we take another look at the injury to Jamie Sweeney. Watch the leg right there. Got bent as Carlo Joseph was engaged in the block, and then he tripped over it, and that's where the injury occurred to Sweeney. There's 4 minutes, 17 seconds left to go in the second quarter. With the injury, we'll take a timeout. It's Miami 17, West Virginia 14 here on Sports Channel. 17 seconds left to go in the second quarter. Miami with the 3-point lead over the Mountaineers as Jamie Sweeney walks off under his own power, and that's always a good sign. Coming up at the half, we'll interview Bubba McDowell, the former Hurricane and NFL safety, as we take part in the celebration of the 87 UM championship team. We'll also have stats and highlights. That's all coming up at halftime. For the moment, the Hurricanes with another opportunity in the red zone, 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line of the Mountaineers. The pitch to James. Working behind Carlo Joseph. Edgerrin looking to throw the ball, threw it right into coverage, and the interception coming back the other way. Picked off by number 3, Perlo Bastine, and just a bad decision by Edgerrin James.
Well, you're coached on that one. If it's there, go ahead and throw it. And I don't care if it looks like it's going end over end. Just get it close. But if he's not open, tuck the football underneath your arm, get what you can, and we'll live to play another day on second down. That was just a bad decision by the sophomore running back. Hey, he didn't come to the University of Miami to throw touchdowns, but if he's wide open, go ahead and give it a shot. He's not wide open. There's at least three jerseys, white jerseys, right around the receiver. You see down in the end zone, Darrell Jones was not open. You tuck that ball under your arm, and you live to play another day.
Zereoué with the football, looking to get outside, and does, but a good play by Nick Ward to hold it to a gain of 4. Well, just a bad decision by Edgerrin James, the sophomore. There was nothing there, and he tried to create something out of nothing. And especially on a first down play, you don't turn the ball over.
Yeah, that's the worst thing that could have happened to the University of Miami. You want to go down and try to put some points on the scoreboard. You've got 3 minutes and 40 seconds and counting, and now you give the ball back to Amos Zereoué, and you see his last 3 carries for 80 yards. He's a productive guy in that backfield. You knew he was going to explode at some time during this ball game.
2nd and 6. Zereoué again comes through up close to the 20-yard line. Number 51, Rod Mack, has him around the ankles with help from Damian Lewis. And that'll bring up 3rd and a long one for the Mountaineers with 3:18 to go in the first half and the clock moving.
Well, Amos Zereoué, after the first quarter, he only had 5 attempts for 28 yards. And you just see there the last 3 carries, he goes for 80. So this guy is very productive, and I think the more you feed him, the more productive he can be. Now on 3rd and very short, let's see what West Virginia calls number 20's name, or they play fake to him.
Zereoué is the running back. Green, the fullback, in motion. The give to Zereoué, picks his way through to the 20, and it's going to depend on the spot. Looks to be just a tiny bit short. Eugene Ridgely got up there, and indeed it is a 4th down for West Virginia.
Yeah, definitely at least a football short. Nice job by the Miami interior defensive front, doing a good job of holding their ground, forcing West Virginia to come out and punt the football back to Miami.
Well, West Virginia's offensive players wanted to go for it. They said, we've got Amos Zereoué, we can make it. But Don Nealon doing the wise thing and sending the punt team on the field with the ball at his own 20-yard line. Dwayne Starks will be back at the Miami 40 to receive the kick from Bauman. Boy, Miami special teams, they'd love to come up with a big play here. They haven't blocked the punt this year, which was a big staple of their game the past 2 years under Butch Davis.
It looks like they're coming at this one.
They're not going to get it. They kind of backed off it. Low punt. Starks takes it on the run and bobbles it. Loose football will go out of bounds, and that's a break for Miami at the West Virginia 44-yard line. Well, I understand what Dwayne was trying to do, get the momentum and kind of lull the West Virginia coverage team into running past him, but he just didn't handle it cleanly.
You know, Dwayne may have lost that at the last second. It looks like the sun's still coming out of the west, and I'm not sure if he got a good look at that football at the end. It looked like he was scrambling at the end of that punt to come up and catch the football on a dead run. Couple plays on special teams tonight, or today. Number 23, Starks, has been playing possum, meaning that he's trying to make believe he doesn't see the ball or letting the ball go over his head, and at the last minute, he's catching the football with a full head of steam, trying to get as many yards as he can.
Well, another opportunity for Miami in West Virginia territory. 1:58 left to go in the second quarter. Clement passes out for Chris Jones, and again Chris can't hang on, and a penalty flag down as he took a shot to the head.
Yeah, it was a face mask, Frank. It looked like by the cornerback, Nate Terry. He was going to go after the hit on the tight end, number 84, Chris Jones. Saw the ball go up and then tried to reach for the football. All he didn't reach for the football, didn't grab a football, grabbed a face mask of the tight end, Jones.
Let's take another look at the play. Watch number 28 at the bottom of your screen. Comes off the wide receiver.
He's going for the knockout blow here, and then sees the ball, and then tries to stop 84 Jones from getting to the football, but he grabbed the face mask, and that's right in front of the official. Should be big 15-yard penalty.
That's what they're calling it, John. They're calling it a 15-yard personal foul face mask penalty, so West Virginia guilty of several of those violations. 1:52, so plenty of time for the Hurricanes here in the second quarter as they have it 1st and 10 at the West Virginia 29. And, John, you can't let too many of these opportunities slip by in a close game.
Well, they're getting down to the scoring range. They're in the shotgun again for the second time, the Miami offense.
Clement with time. Corner route, Santana Moss wide open. If he can stay in bounds, he scores. He did not. He stepped out on the 6.
Well, Frank, do you think that's his route, the corner route? I tell you what, he's been so open, it's hard for Ryan not to hit him on the corner route. He comes in and out of that break with such speed and gets to the corner of the football field. Does a great job to the top of your screen. This shotgun is definitely giving Miami more time to throw the football, and I don't really care what anybody says. It gives you more time to get back and get away from the line of scrimmage and read downfield. And that's what Miami should be doing a little bit more of today, to take a little bit of the hit and the pressure off of Ryan Clement.
The gain from the 29 down to the 6-yard line, 23 yards for Santana Moss. This kid runs beautiful patterns, John. We watched him on tape.
He looks awesome on the outside.
Edgerrin James and Carlo Joseph, the running backs. First and goal at the 6. Clement trying to get away out of the pocket. Can't. He'll go down, sacked at the 19-yard line.
That's the one, Frank, you got to burn to the back of the end zone and throw it away, and just do not take a sack. Everything happens a little quicker down here once you get in the scoring zone. And that's another chance on first down.
Another negative play on first down.
If they don't come up right here, you got to throw the football away. Before John Thornton gets there, just throw it away. Don't take the sack.
First sack of the year for Thornton. Second and goal for the Hurricanes. Again, Clement under pressure. Flag down. He throws short to the end zone. They're probably going to get the Canes for holding.
Definitely.
Well, this is unbelievable. Miami gets in scoring position, and they have such negative plays on first down that takes them right out of what they want to do.
Just break the momentum. It's momentum breaking, and it's disheartening to get so close to the end zone. You get inside the 20-yard line, and you find yourself going towards the other goal line instead of the one where you're trying to move to score.
Now, the penalty flag thrown about 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage, so they'll mark off 10 from there. So in reality, it's an 18-yard penalty.
Holding on the offense, 10-yard penalty.
A minute 10 left to go in the second quarter. Well, this is what drives coaches crazy. It's the second time that they've been down inside the 10-yard line and have just had a very bad negative play on first down, and it just takes you out of what you're trying to do down in the red zone.
Well, and what do you call? You come out and you're Larry Coker and you're 2nd and 36. You know, it's kind of tough to call the game. Now, look to go one-on-one up top to Reggie Wayne. That's what they did last time in this situation on the in route.
Clement, again under some pressure, throws off Reggie's hands to the outside, or Trent Jones' hands to the outside, and incomplete. It'll bring up a 3rd and 36. Well, now what you just try and do is pick up 10 or 15 yards and kick a field goal.
Well, I think that was the plan on that play, get a little bit back, but they went back to the in route. They overload the wide side of the field with the slot receiver trying to draw some attention to Magic Benton, and they try to slip number 87, the freshman wideout, on the in route. That time Ryan elected to go outside for the incompletion.
Miami had this ball first and goal at the 6. They're back at the 36. A sack and a holding call have pushed them back, and again out of the shotgun. Four-man rush. Clement again in some trouble, and he's going to go down back at the 50-yard line. Number 98, Kevin Landolt, and that's just, I don't know what to say, John. It's just poor offensive execution all the way around on 3 plays.
Yeah, Frank, it's bad offense and good defense, taking advantage of your opportunities. West Virginia, that time, they just beat the offensive lineman, and Landolt, number 98, comes screaming from the outside and takes Ryan to the grass, and that's just bad performance on offense. You have the ball down inside the 20-yard line, you're going in to score, and now you're punting the football away to West Virginia with under a minute, with 46 seconds left to go before halftime.
Well, the frustrating thing is that's not the first time it happened. It happened at Pittsburgh. It's happened here again today. Now, Miami settled for a field goal the first time today they were in this situation, but you know, to go from the 6-yard line back to the 48, that to me, that's inexcusable. And on first down with a senior quarterback, if he's under a rush, like you said, throw it up in the seats.
Yeah, that's where they got in the hole right off the bat. They tried to make a big play. There was nothing there. West Virginia had a nice defensive call on. They made a good coverage in the secondary. Hey, they win that play. Throw it away. Now it's second down, but you still have the goal line within 10 yards or something like that. You're in a better situation. You take the sack, then you get the holding call, then you get another sack, and now you're punting the football away. And it doesn't even look like now you're going with no momentum. You had some momentum. You had some energy created there. Now you go in and say, wow, it's all over again. This is happening to us again.
Hurricane fans, get ready for the big one. It's the Canes versus the Seminoles from Doak Campbell Stadium. Tune into Sports Channel next Saturday night at 11:30 p.m. and see if the Canes can upset the Seminoles in their house. I'll tell you one thing, they're not upsetting anybody unless they can get this red zone offense straightened out.
They need to take advantage of their opportunities, and they have not done that for the last 3 weeks.
Crossland kicking it away to Nate Terry. And bounces out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Good job by Andy Crossland to pin West Virginia back there inside the 20. And that's where the Mountaineers will start 1st and 10 with 39 seconds to go in the first half.
West Virginia has 2 timeouts out of the 3 you're allotted left with 39 seconds left to go. I'm not sure if they'll elect to do anything. They don't have very good field position. I would think they would try to run the football, go into the house at halftime down 3, knowing that they can move the football with Amos Zeroaway. The last 3 times he's touched it, he's gone 80 yards. So Let's see if they can go in, regroup. They're close enough right now on the road, doing a good job against Miami in this first half.
And Miami's let some opportunities definitely slip away. Folger with the screen to Zereoué, can't hang on. Dan Morgan out in the area on coverage. An incomplete pass stops the clock with 34 seconds left.
Yeah, not a bad play there. Screen play, if you're going to try to not take a chance and throw the football down the field, throw a pretty safe pass in a screen play. Had it set up, as you said, Dan Morgan out on the play for Miami, but just a drop by Zereoué.
Second down and 10 for the Mountaineers. 34 seconds left. I'm just trying to go back over my chart and see where Miami's drives have stalled out. They stalled out at the West Virginia 32, at the West Virginia 28, and then they had first and goal at the 6 and wound up punting. Zereoué on the delay. Getting into the secondary again and has a first down. So that will enable West Virginia to really run out the clock. Delvin Brown made the tackle. You got to think if Miami had stopped him that play, Miami calls timeout, try and get him to punt after stopping him on third down, but Zereoué will pick up 12 yards, and it's a first down for the Mountaineers.
Yeah, and the clock stops with the getting the chain set up. So let's see what West Virginia does now with the clock running with 20 seconds and counting down. Probably just another off-tackle play to Zereoué.
Folger, pump fake. Throwing it deep for Ivy, catches it, and they say, good. Yes, it is complete at the 48-yard line of West Virginia.
Well, just like I said, probably another off-tackle play to Zereoué. They fake it and go downtown. They get a nice completion almost out to midfield at the 48-yard line. Now they've got a chance to really throw one down in the end zone if they would like.
Well, Dwayne Starks got beat that time, and Chuck Pagano, the defensive back, or excuse me, it's Dennis Scott. Chuck Pagano, the defensive backs coach, was a little bit upset there. Folger, and Derek Ham has him for the first Miami sack of the day, and that is how the first half will end here at the Orange Bowl. Derek Ham's second sack of the season, first today for Miami. Well, John, an up and down first half, 17-14. The Hurricanes lead it. We'll be back with our halftime interviews, stats, and more coming up here on Sports Channel. Opportunities in West Virginia territory. Miami holds a 17-14 lead over the Mountaineers. You're looking at the 1987 National Championship Hurricane team, at least many of the members of it being honored here at halftime on the 10th anniversary of their national championship. Good to see some of those guys again. Let's take a look at first half highlights now. John Congemi, and with Miami up 7-3, West Virginia came back. Play action pass from Mark Folger to Chad Wable, and they get a 16-yard touchdown.
Yeah, it was just miscommunication in that Miami secondary. It looked like the free safety, Ridgely, missed the tight end wobble coming across the middle, just wide open. All he had to do is cradle the ball in for the West Virginia score.
But the Hurricanes responded with a touchdown drive of their own. It ended with an Edgerrin James 3-yard touchdown.
Just a burst of speed to the outside pylon. Edgerrin James gets it in from inside the 5-yard line for Miami to get on the scoreboard.
And with Hurricanes jump back on top by a score of 10-7. Then a great out pattern by Santana Moss. He takes it down to the 1-yard line. That led to a Ryan Clement touchdown.
Santana Moss has done a terrific job on the outside on comeback routes and especially on corner routes, getting in and out of his pattern and catching the football, being very successful on the outside for the Canes.
And with Miami up 10, West Virginia responded. Amos Zereoué on the counter play gets some good blocks and scores from 54 yards out.
Zereoué makes a few Hurricanes miss on the outside. Then he cuts back in the last second here. Nice job of eluding Hurricane tacklers. Goes in for the score. Look for more of him in the second half, Frank, as West Virginia tries to run the football on the Canes defense.
Zereoué 12 carries for 133 yards as we look at some of the first half numbers. And a lot of total yardage being put up by both offenses. 226 for the Mountaineers, 265 for the Canes, 21 first downs for Miami. And, John, they should be leading by more than 3.
They really should. Miami's run 49 offensive plays in the first half. I mean, if you get close to 70, 75 plays, you've been successful. They're already on 50, so they need to convert, make the plays. They have the opportunities. They just need to convert when they get in the scoring zone.
And we'll have the second half kickoff from the Orange Bowl right after this on Sports Channel. Back at the Orange Bowl, it's Miami 17, West Virginia 14 as we get ready to start the second half here at the Orange Bowl. Frank Forts and John Congemi with you on Sports Channel. And a look at the temperature hovering up near 90 degrees here in the OB today. And those cool zones are being put to good use, especially by the Mountaineers.
That'll make you feel good if you're West Virginia coming in. It's a little cooler up there than it is right now in South Florida, so a lot of guys taking advantage of the cool zone.
Nate Terry and Curtis Keaton back to receive George Gaitan's kickoff. as West Virginia won the opening toss and deferred to the second half, where, of course, they elected to receive. So the Hurricanes with some missed opportunities at the end of that first half. The interception on a first down play of the halfback pass from Edger and James, and then the 1st and goal at the 6 that wound up back close to the 50-yard line, and Miami had to punt. Gaitan trying to pin Terry deep in the corner, and does. He almost stepped out of bounds. Terry has a lane. Nate Terry still going, finally hauled down up at the 42-yard line. Number 60, Carlos Garcia, made the tackle for Miami, but that's poor special teams play from Miami, because it was a good kick from Gaitan. In fact, he almost forced him to step out of bounds.
Terry did a great job just staying in bounds. He was very close to that sideline. Did a great job taking it straight up the sideline, the Miami sideline, then cutting it back across the field. Did a nice job of just getting the ball, advancing the ball outside the 40-yard line, all the way to the 44-yard line. Nice feat by staying in bounds by Terry.
First down, White the fullback in motion. Folger, 3-step drop, delivers it low. As he was going for Wabel, his tight end, Rod Mack, had the coverage.
Good coverage on the outside by the linebacking core of the Hurricanes that time. He had Rod Mack in great position on the outside, along with Michael Smith, number 59, just in perfect position. Looked like the West Virginia offensive receivers were too close together, Frank. They were trying to go one back to the outside and the tight end over the top, and just bad separation, bad spacing by West Virginia.
This is where West Virginia likes to give it to Zeroway on 2nd and long. He's the lone running back.
They're going to throw it this time, Frank.
Folger, 3-step drop, pass over the middle, incomplete for Corey Ivy. Interference going to be called against Dennis Scott.
Yeah, it looked like he came right through Ivy's back, did number 25, Dennis Scott. It's thrown by the side judge. Just bad timing that time by the strong safety Scott for the Hurricanes. You'll take another look. Just on the quick slant, it was really pump fake by the quarterback. That made Scott try to go right through his back, tried to time up the throw. The pump fake got him.
Interference against the Hurricanes. We'll move it up to the 49-yard line. And a first down for West Virginia.
I don't know, if I'm West Virginia, I'd come out and want to run a little bit of Zeroway, a little bit through tackle to tackle. He had great success in that second quarter. Now coming out in the third quarter, you've got great field position just about at midfield at the 49-yard line. So let's see what West Virginia does with a new set of downs.
Just underway in the third quarter. Miami with a 3-point lead, and really they could be up a lot more in this game with the missed opportunities that they've had. And that's what Butch Davis has been concerned about. Here's Zeroway again, busting through Miami territory and the 40-yard line before Eugene Ridgely made the tackle. Gain of 11 and a first down.
Boy, nice blocking up front by that West Virginia offensive line. They did a good job of creating a huge hole for Amos Zeroway. Doesn't need a big hole. He's only 5'10", but he had a lot of room. You see Pegues coming back off the football. Did a great job of just taking what was there. He ran full steam ahead. He was at full speed probably when he hit the line of scrimmage. Good enough for another first down.
And look at Amos Zeroways numbers as opposed to Miami's rushing numbers. And, of course, there's a 54-yarder included in there for Zeroway. And Miami's defensive tackles have had a very quiet day so far, John.
Yeah, they have. Just that last sack on the last play by Ham to end the end at halftime. So they need to pick up the pressure on the defensive front.
Delay to Zeroway. Cuts it back inside and picks up about 3. Chad Pegues along with Michael Smith making the tackle for the Hurricane defense.
Michael Smith getting a little bit excited, but you don't feel that the Miami Hurricanes have come out of halftime as excited as they were at the beginning of this football game. They look a little, you take a look at the sideline, there's really no emotion, there's no feeling coming from that bench of getting into the football game, trying to inspire their defense out on the football field. Looks like a lot of guys are just hanging out, standing around thinking that maybe West Virginia will tire. Well, this team, if they start running the football, it could be a long afternoon, a long second half for Miami.
2nd and 7. There's the quick screen, wide receiver screen to Foreman. Foreman be stood up by Michael Smith, and he holds him shy of a first down. Pickup of about 4 yards on the play, so pretty good read from Michael Smith there.
Yeah, great read by the defense. That play looked like it was going to be a little bit more than what it ended up being, a 4-yard gain. Nice pursuit by number 59, Michael Smith. A lot of orange jerseys around the football. Just a flanker screen out to the left-hand side of your football screen. You'll see Rod Mack going out there pursuing, and Michael Smith doing a nice job. Dennis Scott breaking down.
Dennis Scott really stood the play
stopped
up.
it. Yeah, did a good job at that strong safety position, bringing a 3rd and a long 2.
Curtis Keaton, the lone running back. Blitz on from Dan Morgan, knocks the ball loose. It's still on the ground, and we'll let him sort it out. Give Dan Morgan credit for the sack.
That's a fumble. I think Miami's got the football, Frank.
Referee's trying to unpile the players. Miami thinks they have it.
I agree. Just a nice play by Dan Morgan coming on the inside.
Chad Pegues down on the bottom of the pile. And Chad Pegues comes away with the football. It's still no signal. And now they're going to give it to Miami.
Chad Pegues using his strength on the bottom of the pile to get the football. But Dan Morgan, bad block on the offensive backfield by West Virginia. You see there, the running back never got up in time, and Dan Morgan beat him to the punch just with sure speed. Number 9, Keaton, the running back, the backup running back, gave Dan Morgan the inside lane to rush. Dan Morgan took it and just crushed the quarterback, Bulger, creating the fumble. You see Pegues on the sideline, gets the ball at the bottom of the pile. Nice turnover by Miami.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know if Chad had that ball when the play finished, but he had it when they came out of the pile. First down, Canes at the 39. Edgerrin James stacked up and loses a yard. John Thornton got through in the backfield. Frank made another play for the West Virginia defense.
Frank, it's a bad sign when you get the football on the 41-yard line and your offensive linemen are around the 35-yard line trying to catch white jerseys. That time, West Virginia beat Miami to the punch offensively, and they didn't do a good job coming out after that fumble, trying to create something on the ground.
2nd and 11 for the Hurricanes at their own 38, loss of 1 by James. Motion from Darryl Jones. 4-man rush. Clement flips it out to James. James with some blockers in front. Edgerrin across the 40 to the 45-yard line. Damon Cogdell on the tackle pickup of 6 yards. It'll bring up 3rd and 4. Let's take a look at Miami in the first half. Now, they scored on 3 drives, and they didn't move the ball effectively on another one. But look at these 4 drives. They all had 1st and 10s at the West Virginia 32, the 28, the 19, and the 6. And you see the results of those drives. Those are all missed opportunities within scoring range, and Miami got no points out of any of those 4.
Yeah, and you throw in the missed opportunity to Mondrell Fulcher going down for the score. That's 5. They only had 1 opportunity to score, and that was a missed field goal. So Miami not taking advantage of their opportunity.
3rd and 4, motion from Edgerrin James. Blitz is on. Clement got it out to Edgerrin James. Perlo Bastine runs him out at the 50, but Edgerrin James has a Miami first down.
Edgerrin James doing a nice job. Miami floods the zone. They put him in motion towards the 2 wide receivers. He ends up in the flat. Does a nice job of catching the football. That was not an easy catch. Ryan throws it outside, got enough on the football to get it to Edgerrin. First down, Canes.
Good job by Clement that time to hang in the pocket. And I think Miami needs to do more of that, John, motioning the tailback out of that formation and forcing the defense to show their hand.
Well, it loosens up the defense a little bit and really lets you know who's on who if they're in man coverage.
11-14 left to go, 3rd quarter. Canes hanging on to a 3-point lead.
That was delay a game again, Frank.
They did not get the play off in time. Ryan, you could see Ryan checking out of the play they had called, and this will cost Miami 5 yards.
These are the things that really hurt Miami. Just as soon as they put a couple plays together, they either get caught with a holding call or an offsides early in the first quarter, and now they get, this is their second, I believe their second delay of the game today.
It is. In fact, Miami has 8 penalties now for 63 yards. And the thing is, after playing a very penalty-free opening game, they've regressed 15 penalties the past 2 weeks and 8 more today, so that's 23 in the last 3 games.
Yeah, they really had a lot of laundry the last couple of games, and they need to improve on that because that can do nothing but stop an offense that's struggling already.
1st and 15 for the Hurricanes. Ball now placed back at their 46-yard line. Edgerrin James and Carlo Joseph are the running backs. And again, a flag goes down.
Looked like moving on the interior front by Miami. Look on the right side, and I don't want to call number 55 again, but I'm not sure who moved.
Well, if it's Eric Schnupp, that's his 3rd today. And that's just, you know, it's unacceptable.
And you see number 78.
Yeah, it's Freeman Brown. If you saw Freeman Brown rock back in his step there. Or is it Curlin Blaze? It's the right offensive tackle. I can't see the
It's Curlin Blaze because number 78 is going into the football game to replace number 55, Eric Schnupp, because that's the 3rd time he's jumped off sides and just moved in his crouch position.
So it's 1st down and 20. Again, the Hurricanes reaching West Virginia territory and then going backwards.
Going on the fade route, possibly up top, Frank.
Delayed blitz coming. Clement looking for Reggie Wayne, incomplete at the West Virginia 33. He had Nate Terry all over him, and the fans looking for a call, but they're not going to get one. Reggie Wayne still down at the West Virginia 31-yard line.
Yeah, there looked like there was a little contact there. That was a very catchable ball. Reggie trying to run through the catch. Ryan gives him just a hand audible, and he goes out and takes off. Best release possible was inside. He takes off inside, and it looked like it was all over. Looked like he made contact on his back when he was airborne. Could have been called in Miami's favor that time.
It was not. It'll bring up 2nd and 20, and Reggie still down. Probably had the wind knocked out of him. Doesn't look to be anything more serious than that. We hope it's not. He has been an outstanding find for the Hurricanes. The true freshman out of Marrero, Louisiana, came into the game with 15 catches for a 14.3-yard average, has 4 more catches today for 71 yards.
Frank, I think he adds something after he catches the football that you wouldn't expect a freshman to do. You know, you want him just to secure the ball, catch the ball, almost fall down, because he'll learn, you know, by playing and getting more accustomed to the offense. But he really takes off. Reggie takes off after he catches the football. He really knows he's got that God-given ability to know what to do with the football, and he's taking advantage of his skills today. 4 receptions for 71 yards in this game already, and it's glad to see him walk off or jog off to the field. He'll be back to play later today.
We've gone through this game with both teams combined. We haven't gone more than 7 plays without a penalty.
Wow.
18 total penalties combined for the two teams, 153 yards. 2nd and 20 for Miami. Again out of the shotgun, which Miami has unveiled for the first time in the Butch Davis era. Clement down the middle, overthrows Mondrell Fulcher.
I think Ryan just read him going up the field. Mondrell kind of bend in on that seam route. Just miscommunication by tight end and quarterback on that play.
Well, the tight ends have been open today, and that's the 2nd time that Ryan has missed Mondrell coming down the middle.
Yeah, the first one was a touchdown. That was the one that really hurt because he made such a nice move to the outside and breaks it back to the inside. That time, there were a couple white shirts in the area. Lucky that one was overthrown.
3rd down and 20 for the Hurricanes. 11:04 to go, 3rd quarter. Frank Fort, John Congemi with you on Sports Channel. Again, Clement in the shotgun. Off to Carlo Joseph. Flag down, back in the Miami backfield. Carlo Joseph across the 50. Still going down at the West Virginia 42-yard line. He'll be short of a 1st down, but we have a flag back in the Miami backfield. Yeah. Tyshawn Evans made the tackle, and it's holding on the Hurricanes. Well, this has got to be very disconcerting for Butch Davis and for Art Kehoe, his offensive line coach. Art works very hard, but his guys just, a couple of holding penalties today. The false start penalties have got to be driving him crazy.
Yeah, those are the little tedious things. You know you're going to get caught for holding a couple times, and sometimes you have to, but you take a look at the previous play, it looked like on the left side, Curlin Blaze just got beat to the inside and really tackled Ryan Price from behind, number 51 for West Virginia, and he was caught for the holding.
So a positive play for the Hurricanes turns into a major negative. They're all the way back on the Miami 27-yard line. It's 3rd and 34.
I think I've seen this movie before. Going backwards, you see there, the penalties have just killed them on the season, and today they already have 10 for 82 yards. So just going backwards again away from the goal line.
Well, again, they were in West Virginia territory. They were at the 49-yard line when all this started.
What do you call here, Frank?
Hey, Coach, you got any plays you haven't told me about? How about a give to Edgerrin James? And drop down at the 32-yard line. Good pursuit. Number 33, Barrett Green, the safety, held that to a gain of 4. So Miami playing it safe there, and they'll kick it away with 10:20 to go, 3rd quarter.
You know, Miami gets on the replay here. Miami gets great field position on the turnover by Dan Morgan and Chad Pegues, and all they do is go backwards, and resulting in a minimal gain on 3rd down, 3rd and tremendously long for Miami.
Andy Crossland with a nice high kick. Nate Terry at his 32. Nate Terry gets 1 block. And Nate Terry hauled down at the 36-yard line. Good tackle by Chris Jones on the punt return. There's 9 minutes, 54 seconds left to go, 3rd quarter. It's the Hurricanes 17, West Virginia 14. We'll be back here at the Orange Bowl on Sports Channel after this. The offensive line coach, Art Kehoe, talking to his group, and that unit's going to have to pick up their play. Miami needs more points today. They're up 17-14. That's not going to be enough.
No, I don't know if Art's in the talking mood either. I don't see a lot drawn on the board. He's probably telling his guys, hey, listen, we're killing ourselves with penalties, and we can't give West Virginia this many opportunities to get the ball. You know, they're on the 38-yard line, and Miami received the ball on the 39. So it's just not a very positive series for Miami.
1st and 10. Give to Leroy White, the fullback, his first carry today. Derek Ham makes the tackle at the 42. A gain of 4 on 1st down for the Mountaineers.
Little trap play up the middle. Steve Ford, the left guard, pulling for the fullback, Leroy White. Quick hitting play, a close to 5-yard gain on 1st down for the Mountaineers.
9:35 left to go in the 3rd quarter. The Hurricanes with a 17-14 lead. But they have squandered several opportunities deep in West Virginia territory, as we outlined for you a few minutes ago. White in motion. Fake to zero-a. Bulger with no pressure. Hits Corey Ivy for a 1st down at the Miami 49-yard line. Rod Mack and Michael Smith, 2 linebackers, combining on the tackle.
Great timing that time by quarterback and receiver. Bulger to Ivy. Ivy goes down and just button hooks back around the linebacker, did a spin move and just came up and came back to the football. That's why that play was successful. He came back to the football. You'll take a look. This is a perfect view. You'll see Ivy come across your screen and turn right around, spin right around number 59, Michael Smith. He had great position on coverage, but just a better throw and a better route.
1st down, West Virginia, inside Miami territory. And timeout called by Mark Bulger. West Virginia had an extra player on the field, a wide receiver. He got off in time, but then they were confused about the formation, so Bulger took the timeout as Don Nealon wonders what's going on. It's 8:47 left to go, 3rd quarter. Miami 17, the Mountaineers 14. We'll be back on Sports Channel after this. It's up 17-14 over the Mountaineers. 8:47 left to go, 3rd quarter. And one of the reasons this play broke down, John, and the timeout was needed is watch Mark Bulger, the quarterback.
Well, you can't blame him. Everybody looks... I think everybody looks the same. Look, if I'm the quarterback right now.
Especially in that stance, they all kind of look the same.
There's not a lot of personality looking at you right there. So you just got to find something that looks familiar and stand around it. Bulger did a good job. He went underneath the left guard, but he had enough intelligence to call timeout.
I don't recall who it was. I saw a highlight last week. One player in the NFL, he wrote on the back of his pants, the center, place hands here.
That's right.
So maybe that's what Bulger needs. He needs a little sign on the back of the center.
You saw that guard. He's not used to...
He said, hey, whoa!
Hey, you got the wrong guy.
Get a room. 8:47 left to go, 3rd quarter. 17-14. I'll tell you what, Butch Davis can't be real happy right now because his offense has squandered away several opportunities to really take a big lead in this game. The Canes could easily be up 2 touchdowns by now. But West Virginia is hanging around, and that's not a good sign if you're Miami. 1st and 10 from the Miami 49-yard line as we come back to play. Frank Fort and John Congemi with you on Sports Channel. Hand off to zero-a, and he's creamed by Rod Mack and Chad Pegues. Mack coming on a blitz and ran right into the play, a loss of 1.
Boy, they ran right into that blitz, and number 51, the middle linebacker, Rod Mack, made Amos Zeroway say, hey, I'm in the middle of the field, and this is my territory. Don't come this way. He comes right off, goes right underneath the guard, and just smacks Zeroway right in the mouth. Great job by Mack and the rest of that defense. Nice play call by Bill Miller and his staff that time on 1st down.
One more time, he just rocked his world. 2nd and 12, loss of 2 on the 1st down. Motion from White. Fake to zero-a. Bulger with plenty of time. Throws it low and incomplete. He's going for Sean Foreman, Dennis Scott in the coverage, and a flag down.
May have been lined up. Looked like there wasn't a guy on the end of the line of scrimmage because that play will come back.
It could be an illegal formation. If I'm Miami, I'm declining the penalty and bringing up the 3rd and 12.
Yeah, I think that's the call. Miami, nice coverage that time by Miami. Really know where to throw the football downfield.
Jim McConaughey, our Big East lead official today, will give us the call.
Illegal formation on the offense.
You called it, John, the illegal formation. 8:04 left to go, 3rd quarter. The Hurricanes clinging to a 3-point lead. And now a big 3rd down play. Miami coming in with their dime package as Tavokius Bonner and Delvin Brown enter the game on a 3rd and 12.
Yeah, Michael Smith and Dan Morgan come out of the ball game. This is where Miami forced a turnover last series when West Virginia had the football.
Just the 4-man rush. To the outside, almost intercepted by Nick Ward as the ball bounced off the hands of Fisher, the wide receiver, or rather Pat Green, the wide receiver, and that'll bring up a 4th down in a punting situation.
You got to like the pressure Miami got up front with just rushing 4 people, but you see the West Virginia wide receiver expecting the ball outside. Bolger throws it inside, almost picked off by Nick Ward, but forces West Virginia into a punting situation.
Ryan Bauman on to kick, and West Virginia late getting a player onto the field, one of their flyers. Number 35, Dave Lightcap, the reserve safety. Canes coming after it, do not get there. Kick off the side of Bauman's foot, but it gets a nice roll and will go out approximately at the Miami 18-yard line. That's where the Canes will start, 1st and 10. Yeah, well, John, I want to take one thing back. I said it was a 4-man rush last time. They did bring Tavokius Bonner, one of the dime backs, just to put a little extra pressure on, but the main thing is they forced the incompletion.
You're right, and they did force some pressure on that punt. Bauman really trying to get rid of it a little quicker than he normally does. Kind of caught a shank off the side of his foot, but got the nice bounce inside the 20-yard line. Miami sets up camp on the 18, and very critical point in this ball game, Frank. Really, nothing's happened in this 3rd quarter to write home about. Miami needs to come out and really sustain a long drive, try to get some yards on the run. I think Miami's offense really works well, or any offense really works well, when you're running the football, and it's up to that offensive line to really come in and make a good series. Put a couple series together where they don't have a penalty holding them back, where they don't have a holding call or an offside, no drops. You see number 21 in the backfield, James Jackson, he gets the call along with Carlo Joseph. So a lot of people coming into the ballgame for Miami.
Kick off your Sunday mornings with the state's most comprehensive pregame show. AutoNation USA presents Sunday Morning NFL. Join the team on Sports Channel every Sunday from 10 to 11:30 a.m. when we take you inside the huddle of the Bucs, the Dolphins, and the Jaguars. The NFL Florida style exclusively on Sports Channel. 7:50 left to go, 3rd quarter. Kind of a slow-moving game through the 2nd and 3rd quarters. It was pretty fast-paced 1st quarter, but both teams have settled down here and slugging it out because we had a 17-14 score midway through the 2nd period. And as you said, John, I think this is a pretty critical possession for the Hurricanes. They need to move the football, and when they get their opportunities, they need to convert because they're going to look back at the end of this game and they're going to say, we blew it.
Well, you take a look in the 2nd half, they've had the ball twice, -1 yard rushing and passing, only 13 yards, a total of 12. Even I can figure that one out. They're not very successful coming in offensively in the 2nd half. The defense set them up with a nice turnover. They got the ball on the 39-yard line only to punt it back after losing 7 yards. So Miami right now offensively needs to come up and make something happen. Ryan Clement needs to get some time and make something happen outside with his freshman wide receivers.
He had 24 yards, in penalties on that last drive as well. James Jackson and Carlo Joseph, the running backs. Pitch to Jackson. Jackson cuts up inside at the 22-yard line. Perlo Bastine, the corner, comes up to make the tackle. Pickup of about 4 on 1st down for James Jackson.
Miami again trying to go with that motion to try to seal the corner and take it outside on the toss sweep to the wide side of the field. Jackson does a nice job cutting inside his blocking of his fullback, but West Virginia pursued pretty good on that play, held him to a 4-yard gain. Looked like it was going to be a little bit more on the outside, Frank.
And James Jackson talking with Don Solinger, the running backs coach. Daryl McMillan, again, not playing today, has the collarbone injury, which he played through the last 2 games after suffering it at Baylor. On 2nd down, Clement to the outside. Omar roll complete at the 25, fumbled it out of bounds. And it goes out at the 32-yard line, but I think they're going to bring this back to the point of the fumble.
Great timing on the play by quarterback and receiver. As soon as Omar came out of his break, the ball was delivered, and that's what gave him outside leverage to beat the cornerback, Bastien, number 3 for the Mountaineers on the sideline. The ball will come back. I'm not sure that gives them a 1st down, Frank.
It does not. They're about a yard short. And that's the 2nd time that Omar Roll has fumbled in the last 2 home games in similar situations where he really hasn't tied up the football.
Well, here's a critical situation. They need to stay on sides and maybe force West Virginia to jump.
3rd and 1 for the Canes. Jackson with the deep handoff, and he's going nowhere. Number 44, Jason Williams, the backup middle linebacker, but there is a flag down.
Well, that play was going nowhere from the get-go, Frank, and there were more West Virginia people in the backfield, but it looks like West Virginia may have lined up in the neutral zone.
They did, and the signal is offside, and that would give Miami a 1st down at their 33-yard line.
Well, just as Miami has hurt themselves offensively interior, you take a look at the end of the line of scrimmage. His helmet is in the neutral zone when the ball was snapped. So good play by the Cadence and a nice play by the offensive line of not jumping off sides.
But they've got to block better than that. A blitz coming on 3rd down, and nobody picked it up. James Jackson had no chance on that running play.
No, James was 5 yards deep in his own backfield getting hit by a West Virginia linebacker, and that's not good for anybody.
6:40 left to go, 3rd quarter. There's a look at the West Virginia penalties, and they have hurt. No question about that. Canes with a gift 1st down. Let's see if they can take advantage. Motion from Santana Moss. Play action from Clement. And a catch by Santana Moss up at the Miami 48-yard line, where he is dragged down by Barrett Green, the safety, but that's a gain of 16 and a Miami 1st down.
Great concentration that time outside by Santana Moss. The ball was deflected by Cogdell, number 1, the linebacker. He still had enough concentration to catch the football. Take a look at Clement in the pocket with plenty of time. This ball is deflected before it gets to Santana. He does a great job of just readjusting his hands and concentrating on the ball. He's over the middle of the football field. He could get hit, but he concentrated on the football. Big play for the Canes.
Big play by the true freshman out of Miami Carroll City High School. James Jackson with the football. Jackson across the 50. Jackson still going. And Jackson has a 1st down at the West Virginia 41. Damon Cogdell, the linebacker, made the tackle, but that's a gain of 11.
Jackson showing some speed off right tackle that time, really accelerating through the hole. Nice job on the point of attack by the Miami offensive line. Take a look at Wayner, the center, just dominating the defensive tackle, Thornton. And now it's all number 21, James Jackson, going to the outside, getting another 1st down for the Canes. Now they've got something going, Frank. This is where I start to get scared if I'm a Miami Hurricane fan. Two good plays in a row. What's going to happen now? They're going to burn themselves.
5:43 left to go, 3rd quarter. Let's give Eric Schnupp some credit for a good block on that play. We've been on him about the false start, so let's credit him with a good block there. 3-step drop, Clement to Reggie Wayne. Reggie Wayne close to another 1st down at the Mountaineer 40-yard line. Run out of bounds by Dave Lightcap, the backup safety out of Wilmington, Delaware. And we'll see where the officials mark this one, whether it will be a 1st down or not. And they are moving the chains. It is a Hurricane 1st down. So Reggie Wayne continues to impress. That's his 5th catch today. He has 81 yards.
Out of all the routes he's run, Frank, he really hasn't been covered. Only one fade route he's been covered on, but he's been open the better part of the afternoon.
5:29 left to go, 3rd quarter. Miami up 3. Movement and flags down, and I think the tight end might have gone that time early for the Hurricanes.
Yeah, Mondrell Fulcher looked like he got an early jump on that snap count.
Well, again, they get to the 30-yard line, and something negative happens, and especially on 1st down.
Seems like the closer they get to the goal line, Frank, the more problems they have. They move the football terrifically in the middle of the field. You take a look, someone jumps on the inside, but Mondrell Fulcher on the end of the line of scrimmage to our left jumps at the tight end position.
5-yard penalty, repeat the down.
Well, that is the 11th penalty on Miami for 87 yards, and that's just way too much. 5:28 left to go, 3rd quarter. Frank Forch, John Congemi with you on Sports Channel. Chris Jones in motion. Hand off to James behind Eric Schnupp. James trying to get to the near side. Good shoestring tackle by Barrett Green. Held James Jackson to a gain of 2.
Well, that time Barrett Green, instead of going after somebody's head, he goes after somebody's feet, and that's number 21, James Jackson. He comes in and makes a nice tackle, getting airborne. He hadn't played a lot in the game after he had made that bad play in the 1st quarter, but gets in back in the Mountaineer defense and makes a nice aggressive tackle.
Barrett Green, 6 feet, even, 205, a sophomore from West Palm Beach, and now 2nd and 14 facing the Hurricanes just inside the West Virginia 34. Nick Williams in the backfield along with James Jackson behind Ryan Clement. Motion from Darryl Jones, and again, Bubba Franks moves. John, this is just, it's driving me crazy. I can imagine what the Miami coaches are going through.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said anything, Frank. Normally when you let a lying dog sleep, nothing happens, but you try to wake him up, and you get inside of the crucial scoring zone. You get in and move the football.
On the offense, 5-yard penalty, repeat the down.
You just can't do that, Frank. Those penalties are killing the University of Miami. They get no momentum. You see guys with their hands on their hips in the huddle now saying, hey, guys, let's put it together. It's always one guy. They've got 10 guys on the same page, and one guy seems like they're either busting mentally or physically when they get down in the scoring zone.
Now, I know the competition's been tougher since the opening game, but they played a 2-penalty opening game, and since then they've just been awful penalty-wise. On second down, play action. Clement gets it out to James Jackson at the 35. Escapes Jason Williams and gets down to the 32-yard line. Gain of 7 on the play. That'll bring up a 3rd down and a dozen.
Boy, I look for Miami to come right back in this series if they get a first down, or maybe right here if they get the same coverage, because West Virginia secondary busted on Reggie Wayne. He escaped the cornerback pressure, and there was no one covering at the deep third nearest to the Miami sideline. Reggie Wayne had a free run into the end zone. If Ryan would have saw that, it was a pure busted coverage by the Mountaineers secondary.
3rd down and 12 from the West Virginia 32. 4-man rush. Clement under some pressure, gets it to Carlo Joseph, trying to turn it upfield and cut down inside the 30-yard line by Perlo Bastine, well short of a first down.
Yeah, Ryan hits the turf again. Number 78, Henry Slays, played a good game for the Mountaineers up front, but short of the first down. That'll bring on the kicking team, and hopefully we can get on the board here and make it a 6-point game at 20-14. But Frank, you have to be disappointed after driving so easily from 30 to 30 to always be stalled here and hit the brick wall.
Jeff Popovich will hold at the 36-yard line of West Virginia. Just inside the 36 will make it a 45-yard attempt officially. Delvecchio snaps. Popovich's hold, and Crossland missed that one badly again. He just does not hit the ball solidly on 2 long field goal attempts. And in fairness to him, he had his ankle wrapped on the sideline in the first half, his plant foot. And I just don't think he's planning well and swinging the leg through.
Well, he's limping off to the sideline, and I'm not sure if he can kick. Butch Davis asking him right now if he's all right to kick.
2:57 left to go, 3rd quarter here at the Orange Bowl. The score remains Miami 17, West Virginia 14. We'll be back in a moment. A 2nd and 8 upcoming for the Mountaineers with the ball just outside their own 30-yard line. Bulger on the rollout. Pass complete to Ivy. Corey Ivy across the 45 and up near midfield. Nick Ward finally made the tackle, but Corey Ivy with a 17-yard gain.
Yeah, you really can't help that. The linebacking core of the University of Miami was reacting to Bulger on the corner. He was getting outside. You take a look at number 51, Rod Mack, and you see Dan Morgan, 44. They react to the quarterback, and the pass plays on the inside of them. There's no help. There's no pursuit back by the Miami secondary. Good play by West Virginia. Get the quarterback out on the corner away from that pressure.
1:58 left to go, 3rd quarter. Hurricanes up 17-14. Curtis Keaton, the running back, behind Bulger. Mark Plants, the fullback, in motion. This is Keaton, and Keaton is buried. Chad Pegues in on the tackle, along with Damian Lewis as the 2 defensive tackles, or Derek Ham, excuse me, as the offensive front of West Virginia can't contain the Canes there.
Yeah, Ham does a great job just going to the inside of the offensive tackle, Solomon Page, 77, and Ham beat him right off the snap of the ball. Did a good job using his speed, ripping underneath the offensive tackle on the stop for the Canes.
Loss of 2. 2nd and 12 for West Virginia. Triple wide in the formation. Keaton, the running back. Mark Plants, the fullback, in motion. Bulger gets the ball to Foreman in the arms of Rod Mack and Michael Smith. And a gain only of about 4 or 5 yards. It'll bring up a 3rd and 7.
Nice coverage by Miami. They'll give that one up. They were in great position to the short side of the field with their linebacking core. Did a nice job of staying underneath the pattern. Minimal gain brings up a 3rd and long again for the Mountaineers.
Clock moving with 44 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter. You see Sean Foreman really blossoming this year in the absence of David Saunders, who was their go-to receiver but tore up a knee before the season. Out of the shotgun, Bulger with his fullback, Mark Plants.
Here comes pressure.
Safety blitz on. Pass complete to Foreman. Foreman's going to have a first down and more. Nick Ward makes the tackle at the Miami 32, but a big conversion on 3rd down for West Virginia, 17-yard gain.
Nice blitz pickup that time by the offensive backfield of West Virginia. The Mountaineers did a nice job protecting their quarterback, Mark Bolger. He gets the pass play out to Sean Foreman, just a hook route outside. You see collision inside with number 29, Eugene Ridgely. That allows the receiver, Foreman, to get downfield, and a nice tackle by Nick Ward, but not until the Mountaineers get another first down.
10 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Mountaineers trail by 3, and they are threatening. And they're going to let the quarter run out with 3, 2, and 1 second left to go. And that'll do it for the third quarter. No scoring here in the third quarter at the Orange Bowl. We'll move to the fourth quarter here on Sports Channel with the Hurricanes leading West Virginia 17-14. We'll be back with the fourth quarter in just a moment. Start of the fourth quarter at the Orange Bowl. 1st and 10 for West Virginia at the Miami 32-yard line. It's 17-14 Miami as we begin the fourth quarter of play. Frank Fortan, John Kajemi with you on Sports Channel. And the Hurricanes trying to come up with a big defensive stand as they lead by 3. Curtis Keaton with the football. Keaton gets about a yard. Dan Morgan and Rod Mack, the 2 linebackers, stacking him up.
Yeah, nice play by Rod Mack and Danny Morgan. You see Amos Zeraway, he was out of the game. The backup tailback gets in. He just doesn't hit the hole like number 20, Zeraway does. There's something inside, but the defense of Miami's there. Rod Mack first, and then Dan Morgan along with Chad Pegues on the bottom of the pile do a good job of holding the Mountaineers to maybe a gain of 1.
See the rushing yardage in the second half. Not very much for West Virginia, but Zeraway now back in the game on a 2nd and 9. The fake to Zeraway. Bolger under some pressure, steps up in the pocket, fakes the throw, gets around 1. Dwayne Starks has him and hauls him down at the 27-yard line. Gain of 4. It'll bring up a big 3rd and 5 for West Virginia.
Nice pressure by the Miami defense and also a better escape by Mark Bolger. Does a nice job of getting out of the pocket. There's a lot of heat, a lot of orange jerseys coming at him right there. He tries to step up in the pocket. You see number 92, Lewis, coming with some heat. Makes Dan Morgan miss on the outside, but Dwayne Starks, 23, there for the stop for the Canes. 3rd and 5, big play for Miami. They need to hold the Mountaineers to a field goal opportunity. They can't let them on the scoreboard via a touchdown.
3rd and a long 4. They need to get to the Miami 22.
He's going to have to call a timeout, Frank.
And he is going to have to call a timeout. They were confused about the formation of the motion. Corey Ivy, number 8, with the mental mistake there, with a miscommunication, and West Virginia needs to spend a timeout. You don't want to risk a delay of game with a 3rd and 4. We'll take a break here with timeout on the field at the Orange Bowl. It's Miami hanging on to a 17-14 lead. We'll be back on Sports Channel in a moment. (17-14) Miami leading West Virginia at the Orange Bowl. 13:36 to go. The magic number is 0. The Florida Marlins are going to the postseason. Be part of the celebration as Sports Channel brings you the Road to the World Series. A look back at this incredible season and what lies ahead for the Marlins in their first ever postseason appearance. Tune in Monday night at 7 for an hour of action-packed Marlins baseball. The Road to the World Series exclusively on Sports Channel. 3rd down 4 for West Virginia. They need to reach the Miami 22. The Hurricane defenders trying to fire up what is, by normal standards, a smallish crowd here at the Orange Bowl. All the scoring in this game coming in the first half.
Well, Miami's defense has done a good job in the third quarter. They've only allowed Amos Zeraway 12 yards in the third quarter, and that's doing a great job. He has 145 to this point. Now West Virginia comes up with a 3rd and 5, Frank.
They're trying to make some noise here. Leroy White, the fullback, with the motion. The fake to Zeraway and the roll out by Bolger. Going deep for Foreman. Foreman made the catch, and he got a touchdown.
Wow, that's a terrific catch on the outside by Sean Foreman, and even a better throw by Mark Bolger. They get outside away from the pressure of the University of Miami, and what a terrific catch and great ability to keep 1 foot in bounds by Sean Foreman. You see Bolger on the corner, just puts it up in the air, lets his receiver run underneath the pass, but watch his athletic ability to stay in bounds, goes up and gets the football at its highest point. The Mountaineers get on the scoreboard.
With 13:29 left to go, a 27-yard touchdown pass from Mark Bolger to Sean Foreman. Jay Taylor's conversion kick is good, and it's West Virginia now with a 21-17 lead over the Hurricanes. And, John, that's certainly not what the Canes wanted on a third down situation.
No.
As West Virginia converts.
They've played terrific in this third quarter, not allowing West Virginia to get outside and do something offensively. But here, they just make a play. You get beat on the corner. Number 3, Nick Ward gets beat on just a pure speed play and just a terrific throw. Watch the reaction of the quarterback. He knows he made a great play, and he deserves to be excited. That was a nice toss.
So now the onus goes back to the Miami offense, which has not scored in the second half. And again, we go back to those missed opportunities late in the first half. The first down at the 19, they try the halfback pass, and Edgerrin James throws an interception on first down. And the first and goal at the 6, that ball winds back up at the West Virginia 48 after 2 sacks and a penalty, and Miami winds up punting.
Well, now Miami just has to take the attitude where there's 13:29 left to go in this ball game. They need to get 1 touchdown and depend on their defense to keep the Mountaineers off the scoreboard. Can they do that? Can this special teams, you see Chuck Pagano there trying to fire up his special teams, get us good field position, shorten that field for Ryan Clement and this Miami Hurricane offense. See what can happen now with 13:29 left to go, Frank.
Let's take a look at the West Virginia scoring drive on that last possession. And the Mountaineers move it from their own 29-yard line, 71 yards in 8 plays, 4 minutes and 20 seconds. The drive spanning the end of the third quarter. And here in the beginning of the fourth, and the Sean Foreman touchdown catch, his 3rd touchdown catch of the season. And Mark Bulger throwing his 4th touchdown pass of the year, his 2nd today.
We talked about in the open about the quarterbacks, how Mark Bulger reminded us of the quarterbacks that Miami's faced in the past 2 games. Really doesn't do anything spectacular, but runs the offense, makes the plays that are there. That's something Miami's not doing. Miami may have got the perimeter and missed that opportunity on the pass play. Bulger gives his receiver, Foreman, a chance to go up and catch the football. That results in a 4-point lead for the Mountaineers.
And the West Virginia fans in attendance, they have a pretty nice rooting section that came down from Morgantown. Trent Jones and Jeff Popovich back to receive the kickoff. You know, John, Miami has 2 sacks today, but they really haven't had a lot of pressure otherwise.
No, one of those sacks came in the last play of the first half with Derek Ham, so really haven't gotten to the quarterback. They flushed him out of the pocket a few times, but really haven't sacked him and put consistent pressure on the quarterback.
And Miami's just through the first 3 games, and certainly today, just not getting enough pass rush out of their front 4. That's why we've seen them come on some blitzes today, but the blitzes have not been that effective in this particular game. Taylor will kick it off. Trent Jones at the 8.
He's got
Trent Jones has a seam and just tripped up by 44, Jason Williams. A good play by Williams to save a big return. 26 yards on the return as it is for Trent Jones. Miami starts 1st and 10 at their 33.
Well, lucky number 44, Jason Williams, is a linebacker. He's used to tackling people. You see him running down the middle of your football screen right there because Trent Jones had a seam, and he was probably a step away from taking this to the house and giving the Canes the lead. Right here you see just the last person that could possibly tackle him before he gets to the kicker. Nice tackle by Williams, but a nice return by Trent Jones.
1st and 10, Miami. Double wide outs to the top of the screen. Chris Jones is the tight end. James and Carlo Joseph behind Ryan Clement. Edgerrin James trying to get to the outside and gets nothing. Barrett Green, the safety, made the tackle, but that play was kind of stacked up right from the beginning.
Yeah, Eric Green did a good job. And you talk about back-to-back great plays. Number 44, Jason Williams, comes out of the block of the lineman Freeman Brown on the trap play, on the off-tackle play. He did a great job of holding his ground along with Green, number 33.
Freeman Brown coming off the field was shaken up on the last play for Miami. Eric Schnupp coming in. Miami has not done a lot on the ground here in the second half. Carlo Joseph in motion. Blitz coming. Clement backing out of the pocket. Off the hands of Reggie Wayne, thrown behind him, but still I think a catchable ball.
Yeah, that was the first one that Reggie really should have had. The ball was a little behind it, but he's got to just stop and make the catch. Try not to make a big play when it's not there. Just secure the ball, even fall down, and you've got a first down and 12-yard, 13-yard gain. You see Reggie coming across, saying, Ryan, I'm here, just give it to me, give me an opportunity. He just needs to throttle down and maybe not pivot and turn out of that catch. Just catch the ball and fall down, and it's a first down, Frank.
Miami 15 rushing yards in the second half. Miami's lost 4 of their last 5 at home. They haven't lost a conference home opener in all 6 years they've been in the Big East, 6 previous years to this. But they're trailing by 4. On 3rd and 10. Clement down the sideline, overthrows Reggie Wayne. Gary Tompkins had the coverage, but a 3-and-out for Miami, which is the last thing they needed.
Yeah, with 12:29 left to go in this football game, that was a small window to fit that football into Reggie Wayne on the corner route to the short side of the field. Really can't fault the throw. That you don't want to underthrow that. There wasn't a whole lot of separation between receiver and defender that time, and Ryan did the wise thing and really overshot him, bringing his punt team out and maybe hoping his defense can get him the football back again.
Andy Crossland, who is definitely hurting on a bad ankle, will do the punting. Nate Terry back to receive. Pretty good kick. Terry at his own 24. Terry trying to get away, does for a moment, and then he is hauled down at the 25-yard line of West Virginia. Dan Morgan making the tackle, the freshman linebacker.
Dan Morgan's done yeoman's duty today. He's starting as a freshman at will linebacker, and then he plays on a lot on the special teams, does a great job of getting downfield there for the Hurricane special teams.
12-13 left to go in the game. West Virginia leading 21-17. Second touchdown pass of the day, Mark Bulger to Sean Foreman, as we take a look at Pat Del Vecchio, the snapper, and he's down on the sideline, and they're looking at his left leg. Now the Miami defense needs to come up big. Zeroué trying to get outside and gets away from Nick Ward and Dan Morgan and makes about 6 or 7 yards.
Was that Barry Sanders out there, Frank?
Rod Mack and Eugene Ridgely eventually make the tackle, but Nick Ward has had his tackling problems today.
Boy, that was just a terrific individual effort that time by number 20, Zeroué. Watch him just make people miss. Number 3 first, Nick Ward on the outside. Then Dan Morgan misses with an arm tackle, and he's just making a lot of people miss. A couple Hurricanes come and gang tackle, but not after a terrific run. Great individual effort by the Mountaineer running back.
And that's something Butch Davis has been very concerned about as you look at Zeroué's numbers, is the shoddy tackling. And that's a false start on West Virginia as Anthony Beck, the tight end, moved out of his stance early. And a little pushing and shoving after the play. Matt Sweeney in the middle of that.
Well, it was heated early, and they seem like they've calmed down and tried to play football, but in between penalties.
That'll cost West Virginia 5 and make it a 2nd and 9. That's their 11th penalty.
Yeah, just tight end comes right out of his stance.
Ball.
Play was clearly going away.
Solomon Page and Matt Sweeney getting into it a little bit.
They're just having fun. I didn't hear the whistle, I believe, was the answer to that question.
Only the second West Virginia penalty of the second half. They had 9 in the first half. 11:25 to play. Mountaineers lead at 21-17. Give to Zeroué. Zeroué up across the 30 to the 32 or 3-yard line. Rod Mack and Michael Smith making the tackle. So he picks up the yardage pretty much that was lost on the penalty. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and about 5.
Big defensive stand right here for the Hurricane defense. 3rd and a long 3, close to 4 yards, and really don't know West Virginia trying to use the clock. That ball was snapped on 1 of the 25-second clock, so they're trying to use their running game and their big people up front to take control of this football game and try to wear down the Miami defense and that clock at the same time.
Coming up on 10.5 minutes to play. 3rd and a long 3 for the Mountaineers. They're going to pass. Bulger double clutches, throws, complete. First down at the 41-yard line. Caught by Becht, the tight end, Anthony Becht, the 6'6", 255 sophomore out of Drexel Hill, Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
Pickup of 8.
That's a big target, Frank, over the middle, and Bulger really did a nice job of just holding the football until he cleared the linebackers. Anthony Becht in the middle of that football field. You see him at the left-hand side of your screen. He'll come into the picture right there, 82, fights his way around the linebacker and makes a nice catch, nice patience by the quarterback, Bulger.
West Virginia moves the sticks with 10:08 to go in the 4th quarter. Zeroué in the arms of Denny Fortney will go down and lose 2. Michael Smith helping out, cleaning up on that tackle, but Miami's got to start looking to strip the football here. There's still a lot of time left, 9:50, but you want to get that ball back right now.
Yeah, Denny Fortney did a good job that time. They knew the run was coming. Miami stacked the line of scrimmage. You saw Dan Morgan on the outside, Denny Fortney on the inside. They do a good job of containing Amos Zeroué that time, losing 2 yards.
9.5 minutes to go, 4th quarter. West Virginia up 4, 21-17. Play fake, Bulger, again with no pressure. And throwing it deep for Ivy, complete at the Miami 38-yard line. Dennis Scott made the tackle, but that's a big play for West Virginia.
That's the matchup that they want. One of their wide receivers on the strong safety. They get that by formation, and they go man coverage, Miami does, and Ivy does a nice job of working the corner route inside on the strong safety. Just a play-action fake to Amos Zereoué. You see Bulger standing tall in the pocket, has plenty of time, no one impeding his sight. Just throws a little lob pass out there. He knew he was wide open, didn't want to miss him. Give his wide receiver an opportunity to go up and make a play. That's what the Mountaineers do, and it results in another first down.
Well, Dennis Scott is a good hitter and good on run support, but if you get him in one-on-one coverage, that is his weakness. First down in Miami territory. White the fullback with some room, and White dragged down by Rod Mack at the Miami 31-yard line, but a gain of almost 7.
Frank, this is all you'll see out of the Mountaineers if they get that much on first down. They're going to work on this clock now, along with this Miami front. We're at 8 minutes and 37 seconds left to go in this football game, and the Mountaineers are just going to use formation and Zereoué to try to grind out some first downs. This Miami defense needs to come up with a turnover via a fumble, a strip, a turnover, something they have to create to get the football back for this offense and keep Mountaineers out of the end zone.
Bulger on the last 2 drives, 6 for 6, 96 yards and a touchdown. 2nd and 4. Zereoué gets around the outside. Nick Ward can't get him. Amos Zereoué, touchdown. Takes it to the house from 27 yards out.
Another missed tackle on the outside, this time by Nick Ward. Amos Zereoué, he's only 5'10", 200 pounds, but he's a strong, compact runner. He runs right through the arm tackle of Nick Ward and goes in for the Mountaineer touchdown.
27-17 with the extra point upcoming.
Just off tackle, now uses just speed to get outside. There was a holding inside that wasn't called, but you can't get that back. And just an arm tackle, all he had to do was shove him out of bounds. I think he went for the strip from behind, and Zereoué finds the end zone for the Mountaineers.
Conversion from Jay Taylor is good, and it's 28-17, and Nick Ward has just had a nightmare game trying to tackle today. And West Virginia, the fourth quarter used to belong to Miami in this stadium. It does not anymore.
You know, Zereoué, let's take a look at his speed and power right here. Nick Ward trying to get the football. I think he had his right hand on the face mask, didn't want to get called for the penalty and tried to take it off. At the same time, Zereoué breaks through the tackle. And what do you say about Miami? You know, it might have been critical. This is the first game that Nick Ward's had to play the whole game. He's been spelled by Nate Brooks as of late in the first 3 ball games. This time he's playing the whole ball game, maybe a little tired on the corner.
Yeah, Nate Brooks has been suspended for a game for violation of team rules. We'll take a break. 8:06 left to go, and the Mountaineers now in control, 28-17. Six left in the game, and this one may be out of reach for the Hurricanes. Amos Zereoué, 19 carries, 187 yards, and 2 touchdowns, and 7 carries have resulted in gains of 10 yards or more. Ryan Clement not been effective in the second half, and a lot of Miami fans, John, are wondering where is Scott Covington? Should they have gone to him in this game, or should they look to him now with the Hurricanes staring their 3rd loss in a row?
Well, the plan all the time by Butch Davis is to get Scott into the ball game, but I don't think you can lay the blame squarely on number 16. I think he's done an adequate job. He's done a good job of going in and getting the football to his wide receivers, and it would be unfair to put the blame squarely on the quarterback's shoulders.
Trent Jones with the kickoff at his 9. And Jones up to close to the 35-yard line. Number 48, Jamie Sweeney making the tackle, making number 46, Mark Plants, the backup fullback, a 25-yard return. And the Canes will start 1st and 10 at their 35.
Well, Frank, you're in a situation right now, I think you got to go into your, not your hurry-up offense, but I don't think you want to take a lot of time and huddle. I think you want to have a couple plays called at the line of scrimmage and just go and try to get on the board as quickly as you can, because you need 2 scores to get into this football game, to get back, with 7:57 left to go in the 4th quarter.
Just an injury update. Pat Del Vecchio, Miami's snapper, left ankle sprain, uncertain if he'll return. Canes start from the 35. Clement under some pressure. Swings it out to James Jackson with some room at the 30. Jackson across the 40 and dropped at the 43-yard line. Perlo Bastine came up and made the tackle, but a gain of almost 8 on first down.
Yeah, that time in space, James Jackson trying to make Bastine miss in the secondary, and he knows he missed an opportunity. If he can make a shake outside and make him miss, he can make a little swing pass into a big play for the Canes offense, and they desperately need that right now. They need to pick up the pace a little bit too. There's 7 minutes and 25 seconds left to go, and this clock is going down on them.
Second down for Miami. Clement with the late blitz coming. Throws it to Reggie Wayne, complete in West Virginia territory at the 49-yard line, and he'll have a first down and a gain of 9.
And Ryan slow to get up again. A nice play by the quarterback staying in the pocket, but there's only so many shots you can take in the pocket, especially if you're getting a free shot, and that's exactly what happened right here. John Hadley gets a free shot at Ryan Clement, and he stays in the ball game, but it was a nice play and catch, very courageous by him.
And Scott Covington is going to come into the ball game. And Ryan Clement, as we're watching him walk off the field, he has taken quite a beating today. And I know he doesn't want to come out.
No, he's the last person that wants to come out of the playing field right now.
6:45 left to go. Covington with his first throw. And he's going to go deep. Trying to go for Reggie Wayne, but good coverage by Nate Terry.
Scott trying to go over the top the first play. Nice position by Terry on the outside. You go to the well once too often. Reggie Wayne's had a very productive day on the outside. And you take a look at another guy, 20 completions out of 37 attempts for 246 on the day. Not a bad day for Ryan Clement, but he did miss one crucial play that I can remember, the tight end going down, Mondrell Fulcher. Other than that, he's done a great job of staying in the pocket and trying to make the Canes put him in a position to win this football game.
2nd and 10 for the Hurricanes. West Virginia shows blitz, and here they come. And Covington is sacked. Barrett Green on the safety blitz.
There's nothing you can do when you get hit right in the chin by Green unblocked, and there's nothing you can do if you're Superman back there as the quarterback. And I don't care if Ryan Clement or Dan Marino's in the pocket right now. You've got to either get rid of this football on a hot read or take your medicine, and that's what happens right there. Nobody's going to block him. He's probably the quarterback's guy. You've got to get rid of the football.
3rd down and 20 for Miami. An all too familiar tune the last few games. A lot of pressure on Miami quarterbacks, and the defense, after doing a reasonable job through 3 quarters, just melting in the 4th quarter. On 3rd and 20. Covington over the middle to Trent Jones with a lot of room. Trent Jones to the 40, 30. And Trent Jones will have a first down at the West Virginia 27-yard line. Charles Fisher finally made the tackle.
Sometimes when you sit on the sidelines and you come in, you see things. You see maybe in a long distance situation where the linebacking core just drops off 20 yards, and maybe you could just take an easy flip pass of 5 yards and make something happen. Well, here you see everybody going to the left of your screen, and you've got one of your speedy backs, Trent Jones, going the other way. Well, it's almost like a long handoff. Give him the football, see if he can make something happen. He does. A big first down for the Canes.
33-yard gain, and now Miami in their danger zone. They're inside the 30. Covington being chased and being sacked by Henry Slay. And again, John, on first down, he's got to throw that ball away. He looked for the out pattern. It wasn't there. Get rid of the ball. Don't take a sack.
Well, that's a situation also, Frank, down the field. You've got a tired freshman receiver on the outside, and he's getting bumped, and he can't get off the bump anymore. He's spent right now, and that makes Scott Covington hold the football a little longer than he should. He was locked into his receiver, and he's locked in. He's just tired right now, and he can't fight anymore. He's supposed to be gone on a fade route. That hangs up your quarterback. That's a lot of times what the fans in the stands don't see.
Yeah, but especially on first down, I think you got to throw it away. You can't take a negative play on first down. On the delay, Trent Jones inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Bob Baum, the defensive end, we haven't called his name today, making the tackle. 4.5 minutes to go. Jones got back the yardage that they lost on the sack, and now Miami takes a timeout with 4:27 left to play.
And Miami with 2 timeouts left, Frank.
4 minutes, 27 seconds left to go. The Canes looking at their 3rd straight loss. It's 28-17 West Virginia. We'll be back in a moment. Hurricanes again facing an uphill battle at home. They've lost 4 of their last 5 at the Orange Bowl, dating back through last season. And they're looking at their 2nd consecutive home loss and a 3-game losing streak for the first time in some 13 years. Next game, Miami at Florida State. Hurricane fans, get ready for that one. It's the Canes and the Noles from Doak Campbell Stadium. Tune in to Sports Channel next Saturday night at 11:30 p.m. and see if the Canes can pull off what looks right now to be the near impossible, beating the Seminoles in their house. And right now they're looking at a near impossible feat of getting a couple of scores in 4 minutes and 27 seconds. Scott Covington in relief of Ryan Clement, whose numbers are pretty good, but made a couple of bad decisions and took a beating on some pass rushes, and now Covington into the ball game. On 3rd and 11. The pass outside, complete to Darrell Jones, but well short of the first down. It's going to be 4th and about 5.
Nice blitz pickup that time by Mateen, number 74. The left tackle did a good job of coming down and getting the strong safety that was coming off the corner to allow Scott Covington a chance to get the ball out to Jones, his freshman wide receiver. But critical, 4th and 5. They need a first down right here, or their chances are very slim of pulling off the comeback.
Well, I got news. Their chances are none if they don't get a first down here. There'll be no miracle if they don't get a first down. Fourth and 5. West Virginia showing blitz. Roll in motion.
They get him out in the flat.
Here they come. Covington under pressure. Covington got to throw the ball, Scott. You can't take a sack. You got to throw it up somewhere on 4th down. Henry Slay with another sack, and West Virginia will take over at their own 31-yard line.
Yeah, that should do it. Miami has 2 timeouts remaining, but West Virginia fans, they have reason to celebrate. They've played a terrific game coming down to the Orange Bowl and what looks like defeating the Miami Hurricanes. Scott Covington, really no opportunity, just needs to throw it up, and doesn't really matter if it gets picked off or not. Just give yourself an opportunity.
Now Omar Rolls and Reggie Wayne looking for the ball, but they're going away from the play when Scott was forced out. But still, he had Darrell Jones down the field, and even if he's covered on 4th down, you just got to throw it up and hope he can make a play.
Yeah, you got to give him a chance. That's a tough position to come off the bench and really get the feel of the game trying to come back, and it's a tough position to put Scott Covington in, but he's got to try to make that play.
0-way. Sky is shifty. Rod Mack finally chases him down, and no gain after all that. 3:28 left to go, and Miami calling timeout. Well, John, Miami looking at a 3-game losing streak for the first time since the 1984 season. And certainly things are not the way Butch Davis would like them. They've got offensive line problems. They don't have the dominating defensive players right now.
It's a tough situation to go into. You go on the road for your opener, and you beat up on a, what looked like a decent team. It was a good game in Baylor, but you come back in Arizona State, you really, that team was underestimated. I thought they had a great football team, and the 2 backs that Miami faced that day really could have beat a lot of teams in throughout the country in the top 10. Then you go on the road on a short week to Pittsburgh, and you just don't play well. You don't play with any fire or any emotion, and today it looked like they had glimmers of that, some faint hope of coming into this football game and putting it together. But then you have no one to look and blame but yourself. You have penalties, you have missed opportunities for touchdowns again. The same reoccurring facts are coming up time in and time out, and you can only look at the same plays so many times. And I know Butch is trying to make changes and get the right people in there, but it's a difficult situation for the team as well as the coaching staff.
Yeah, there's no question about it. They had opportunities at the end of the first half today and just did not get any points out of it, and it's coming back to haunt them. 0-way again. Rod Mack and Delvin Brown making the tackle for Miami, a gain of about 2, and that'll bring up 3rd and long for the Mountaineers with the clock moving, and now Miami calls another timeout with 3:16 left to go. We're going to take a break with 3:16 left in the game. It's West Virginia 28, Miami 17. We'll be back for the conclusion of this game at the Orange Bowl after this.
Discover the hidden secrets of America's finest baseball school in a professional instructional videotape. Teaching the mechanics of the Major League Swing features professional scout and instructor Tom Umansky and the same award-winning tested under fire techniques that have produced baseball world's back-to-back-to-back AAU national championship teams. Coach Umansky's study and analysis of thousands of baseball's best professional swings has yielded a no less than revolutionary approach to consistent hitting. It's proven, and you'll love its easy-to-understand, step-by-step video training methods. Teaching the mechanics of the Major League Swing benefits players of all ages and ability levels. A valuable addition to any coach's library, too, and it makes a great gift. Thousands have been sold at $39.95, but if you'll call now and use your credit card, you'll pay only $29.95. Phone 1-800-942-6700 for Teaching the Mechanics of the Major League Swing. That's 1-800-942-6700. This is the tape that gets results.
He was the first head coach in football history to win both a Super Bowl title and a National Collegiate Championship. He's one of only 2 active coaches who've led a team to 2 Super Bowl titles. He's one of the NFL's most successful head coaches. He's Jimmy Johnson. And every Sunday morning, the coach of the Miami Dolphins takes the hot seat on the Jimmy Johnson Show. Get into the mind of the master every Sunday at 9:30 a.m. on Sports Channel and at 11:30 a.m. on NBC6.
You see the time and score, and adding injuries to insults. As the injuries continue to pile up, Pat Del Vecchio, the snapper with the bad ankle. 3rd down and 8 for West Virginia. Bulger with play action.
Wide open.
Wide open is the tight end, Wable. Wable into Miami territory at the 43-yard line.
Well, Miami comes out with an all-out blitz, trying to gamble to get to the quarterback and stop West Virginia on 3rd down, but the tight end comes up big again. And the quarterback does a great job. Play fake, comes out and around, really fakes out the entire Miami defense, throws a strike to his wide-open tight end, Wobble, and he goes down for a 1st down, and it looks like that will seal the victory for West Virginia.
And Art Kehoe talking to Curlin Blaze. And I'll tell you one thing, this Miami staff will not stop coaching. They'll keep coaching these kids. They're not going to mail it in. They're going to go to 1-3 and certainly looking at 1-4 next week at Florida State. But I know Butch and the staff, they're not going to stop coaching. They have a lot of young players, and they think they have potential. But they're going through a rough period right now. Every team has a lousy year, and this is Miami's turn. Zeroway stumbles through the hole and picks up a couple. 2 minutes and 34 seconds left.
The disappointing thing, Frank, is, after they lose to Arizona State, now they can look forward to the Big East Conference, but now they go 0-2 in the Big East, so it really drops, a big game last week at Pittsburgh and now against West Virginia, so they really have an uphill climb. They really have to have a lot of people lose football games to get back into contention with the Big East.
And they still have to play at Virginia Tech in the conference, and of course the top 4 teams in the conference can go to bowl games. But I'll tell you what, in all honesty, Miami is not a bowl team right now. They don't convert opportunities. They're making way too many mistakes mentally, and the penalties are killing them. They're just not a sharp football team right now. Zeroway again. And again, good blocking out front. And Zeroway finally hauled down by Leonard Myers after he picks up 10 and a 1st down.
Yeah, Zeroway just showing you his speed again. He's trying to buy time between tackle to tackle until he can get outside and knows he gets the 1st down, or else he would have stayed in bounds and let that clock run down to zeros. But Zeroway had a terrific game. He came into the game averaging close to 150 yards per game. I know that he's over that number by now. He had 145 midway through the 3rd quarter, so he's probably closer to 175 or 180 at this point. Did a great job today for the Mountaineer offense. 201
yards for Zeroway. He's over the 200 mark with 1:48 to go. And West Virginia will just kneel down as Mark Bulger takes the snap. Well, John, Miami now is going to be beaten 3 games in a row by quarterbacks who, in my estimation, are nothing special. But they have not gotten the kind of pressure on these quarterbacks that you need to get.
Frank, they've been beaten by quarterbacks that maybe can't carry a team by themselves, but they've been beaten by some good football teams. I think they've surrounded each quarterback with different skills. I think Arizona State had 2 great running backs and a powerful defense. Pittsburgh had a hot quarterback that particular night. Now you come into West Virginia and you get guys just making the plays that Miami isn't making, and that's why Miami is not successful in their 3 outings.
Well, now they're going to go back and not kneel down and give it to Zeroway. And he gets a couple. Under a minute to play now. It's going to be, John, it just looks like it's, I'm just trying to be honest and forthright here. It looks like it's going to be a very long season. In fact, it already is for the Hurricanes.
Yeah, the first 4 games, you come up with a great win in their opener, but then the last 3 weeks have been so disappointing and so discouraging. And, Don Nehlen's got to feel good after last year's victory was really taken away from him on the block punt. He has to feel good about bringing his team down to the Orange Bowl and winning at Miami.
And Don Nehlen's record against Miami will go to 2-7. And this is the first time Miami will lose 2 conference games in a single season. In fact, it's the first 2. Zeroway trying to get wide. And he's run down from the inside. Jeff Popovich making the tackle, and that should do it. Wilbur Valdez also helping out. We're down to 10, 9, and Don Nealon gets the Gatorade bath. Amos Ziraway unofficially 25 carries, 206 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And that is it. The game is over. The Hurricanes with the 3-game losing streak, and they have now lost 5 of their last 6 at home as Don Nealon and Butch Davis shake hands at midfield. John, Miami's got a lot of problems right now, and it doesn't look like they're going to get straightened out anytime soon.
No, and they don't have time to rest and worry about it. They have to go up to Tallahassee next week and play Florida State, which is going to be probably a much better balanced team than West Virginia, so they've got their work cut out for them.
Well, thanks for joining us here at the Orange Bowl in Miami. Catch the Canes again on Sports Channel next Saturday night at 11:30 for the big game. It's the Canes and Seminoles from Doak Campbell Stadium. Don't miss it, and don't miss Sports Channel's Sunday morning playbook starting off the morning at 8:30 a.m. It's the Tampa Bay Bucks magazine. That's followed by Dolphins magazine, and then the Jimmy Johnson Show at 9:30. And at 10, it's an hour and a half of in-depth NFL pregame coverage on Sunday morning NFL. Then we go to Jacksonville at 11:30 a.m. for the Tom Coughlin Show, Beyond the Concentration Line. That's all right here on Sports Channel. For now, I'm Frank Fort for John Congemi. Goodbye. Once again, the final score, West Virginia 28, Miami 17. So long, everyone.